that I could to verify that this was for real. And you're right, you didn't give up much, and you still got Ferguson as well in this whole deal. You get Naylor, you got Ferguson, you got Geno coming back. You're looking at this lineup, and I see nothing but damage, man. I'm so excited for these guys. And, yeah, the division is back in play. And it's just how you made the deal. You did not give up much. I thought you'd have to give up way more than that. We're talking Harry Ford. We're talking top 10 prospects. It was a great deal. Again, big ups to Jared Apoto, man. He's taken a lot from me, from you, everyone at the station, from the fans, and he got it done. He's been moving to silence.
Jeff Hassett on SportsCenter. We're going to cut to talks about the strength of that Mariners lineup now.
And in getting a Eugenio Suarez, putting him into that lineup with not only Cal Raleigh, but Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, J.P. Crawford. This team that has had a lineup that's been suspect in recent years now has one of the most fearsome group of hitters in Major League Baseball. And in addition to Tyler Locklear, Juan Burgos and Hunter Cranton go back. The Diamondbacks were looking for pitching. They got it in that first deal with Naylor, and with Locklear, they got the replacement for Naylor going forward.
You just think about it for 1 second. Two things here. Number one, you're going to have two players with 35-plus bombs, including one with 41 home runs, in the same lineup. Sarah Langs has a great tweet or a great stat. Curtis, if you can find it or if you know it off top, being an encyclopedia, something like the most home runs for two guys on a team since,
it was like Mantle and Maris, yeah, back in 61.
Some crazy stat.
Yeah.
Secondly, we're talking about Arozarena having maybe one of his best seasons, and he's batting, what, 6th? I mean, Geno's going to be in the lineup tonight, so, like, we'll figure out what it looks like. But in a lineup where Randy Arozarena, as hot as he is your 6th guy, maybe 5th, that's crazy.
You know what this is? It's gratifying.
It's gratifying.
It's so gratifying.
I'm gratified.
I'm gratified. It's gratification. It's all of that good stuff, man. This is fun. It makes you look at the game differently, right? We watch every game as much as we can. We listen to it if we can't watch it. And the expectations just automatically change now. You look at this lineup and you feel like you should be in every game. There are going to be games where the bats aren't hot the way you want them to be. But you don't feel like if it's Cal, it's nothing. If it's Randy, it's nothing. Now you got, obviously, Julio in the mix. You got JP. You bring in Naylor, who's been good so far. And then hopefully Geno continues his streak. It just changes the way that you look at this team completely, man. And I am just surprised. I'm almost in shock.
Yeah.
I have to pinch myself to make sure that this is real, because they have just transformed into legit contenders on paper. You still got to go out there and do your thing, but on paper, they should be considered contenders.
Oh, I had to stare at the Jeff Passan tweet for a long time, make sure I wasn't NBA centelled, like just making sure, is there an underscore I'm not seeing? Or is there a 4 instead of an A in Passan? Like, what am I missing here? Is this real? And then once, obviously, you stare at it and you realize it absolutely is, you start thinking about all the ways this makes the team better. It's not just the bat. And props to Geno for figuring it out. At one point, almost released by the Diamondbacks because he was kind of slumping, and then kind of tweaked his approach and all of a sudden just was raking and one of the hottest players in baseball. But also monumentally important to this clubhouse. We're going to go to cut 7. Shannon Drayer was on with Brock and Salk this morning, and she explained the scene on the Mariners team plane.
One of the neatest moments I've seen on the plane in my years in traveling with them. It was one of those, it could have been a tough flight. They lost a ball game. They had the night game before another game at home the next day, and they're deep in the 17th straight. When we got to the airport, we went through security, we got on the plane, and we were sitting for a little while. And it turns out that they were holding the plane for Geno and his family. And they didn't tell the players that that's what they were doing. So after about a half an hour, all of a sudden it got a little bit loud at the front of the plane. Geno got on the plane, and you could hear the cheering. And then this was just the neatest thing, and it's so Geno Suarez. He proceeded to walk the entire length of the plane and hugged every person on it. When he got to Perry Hill, you could hear up front Perry just yell an emotional, "Stop it!" Which is what he yells when he sees the good play on the field. It was just the neatest moment to see him get on the plane. Spoke very briefly with him, and he just said, "I am so happy."
Players were told in the clubhouse, I guess that they didn't know during the game, but went to the clubhouse, were told about the trade. Everyone's really excited. I love that the team didn't tell them Geno was getting on the plane. Like, I love the idea of them being like, what's taking so long?
It reminds me of my mom, right? Single mom, used to make miracles happen every Christmas. And every now and then she would promise me, or I would ask for something, and she would say, babe, I just can't get it. I can't afford it. And then I open up the presents, boom, there it is. That's what I feel like that was like. Hey, we can't get Gino, guys. I mean, you have to wait to see him. But now, bam, he gets on the plane. It was with his family, too. So his family got to feel that love. It was a great welcome. Unfortunate that they lost the game, right, prior to that. But, I mean, if there's any consolation, it's getting Gino on that plane, and he's playing tonight. We get to see just the full lineup of what this team potentially could be.
Do you think parents ever do that as a test? Like, I remember one time when I was like 14, I wanted this vanity, like a makeup vanity, and my mom came back from the furniture store. She's like, oh, they were sold out. And I was like, it's okay.
Hey.
You got to make sure your kids are humble and still appreciative.
You got to appreciate it,
because
man.
if they throw a fit and then you're just surprising them, you're like, dang, how can I give them this now?
Yep.
All right, getting to a couple other things here. Cal had an interesting comment as well, captured by reporters that were in the clubhouse, and he was just talking about having had that meeting with Justin Hollander and Jerry DiPoto before signing his extension that was detailed in the Jeff Passan article for ESPN. It's a great read. Highly recommend you check it out. But Jeff Passan talked about Cal wanting to make sure, before I sign this deal, I want to know what your plan is.
Right.
I want to know your plan for the pitchers. I want to know that you want to win a World Series. I want to know you're willing to do what it takes. Like, I'll stay here, but I want to know that we can win, and I want to know that this is going to be worth it. And so he sat down with them in a meeting, taking notes in a notebook. I wonder if, I mean, Cal talked about, like, this is what we were talking about. This is what delivering on that looks like. I wonder how Cal's feeling. Like, I wonder how some of these guys that have maybe sat through frustrating trade deadlines or frustrating off seasons are feeling right now.
Cal has to feel like they upheld their end of the deal, because clearly Cal has upheld his end of the deal with all the bombs he's been hitting, having one of the greatest seasons from a catcher that we've ever seen. So for Cal to have that season and for them to make the moves that they have made before the trade deadline, I mean, Cal has to walk upstairs and just shake their hand. You know, I don't know what was said, but you would imagine that they promised they're going to go get an extra arm. They promised that we'd be aggressive as heck at the trade deadline. And just to pile on what's already been going on here in Seattle with Cal having that season, it has to strengthen this relationship for sure because of what Cal's been able to do and what they've been able to add.
Curtis, I'm going to head to you in like 30 seconds for just kind of what to expect from this upcoming series for the Mariners, because Mariners sources Mariners sources can confirm that Gino Suarez will be in the lineup tonight. So a treat for everyone heading to the park to watch this Mariners game. Tell us about what they're about to head into here.
Well, you've got a team that has the exact same record as you in your division in the Texas Rangers, so there's a lot at stake, and you probably need a Gino for all of these games, and so it was good to see the Mariners get that deal done last night. You're looking at a lineup that's going to be the deepest it's been in a long time. JP at short, Julio in center, Cal behind the dish, Randy, you've got Gino, Josh Naylor, like that 1 through 6 right there. That's a pretty impressive 1 through 6 in your lineup. Obviously, that might not be the order that they're in, but still, it's going to be a really formidable lineup that Kumar Rocker, who has not had a lot of success this year for the Rangers, that's who he's going to be facing tonight for the Mariners. But, yeah, there's a lot at stake tonight, especially with the Rangers being tied with you in your division, and that means they're tied with you in the wild card race as well. So both teams kind of gearing up for this big series. So Mariners meeting the moment by going out and getting Gino and making sure that they've got enough firepower to beat the Rangers this weekend.
Again, Mariners sources confirm Gino will be in the lineup tonight. Bump, what kind of message did the Mariners front office send to you, to fans, to all of us?
They told us to shut up, honestly. They told us, shut your mouth, okay? You just let us work. So I could imagine them listening. And I'm sure they don't listen to everything, but there's no way you can escape like the criticism that the fans and that the media has given. I'm sure that they've heard the whispers and say, these people have no idea what we're trying to do right now. And that's why I think when we do talk about what they haven't done, always try to leave room for, I don't know what they're doing upstairs. Who knows? Maybe they did go after Juan Soto. Maybe they did make a pitch at Shohei Ohtani. I doubt it, but maybe they did. So this is a pure example of why you should leave space for that. But I also don't blame people for not expecting anything off of the pass. But someone texted in, I think that's the perfect thing. Mo from Puyallup goes, trader Jerry, not free agent Jerry, right? Because when you trade, you control you control players. When you're in free agency, you're hoping that you do enough to attract them. So I think the message is we believe that this team can win right now in this division that is super mediocre. We believe that if you do get into the playoffs, you have enough already to really make a run. Now you just need the pitching staff to look something like they have in the past couple seasons. And I think you got some real contenders right now. They are legit contenders now.
We'll talk about a piece that they could still add. We'll talk about our own expectations for the team moving forward. I think we can safely say, coming out of just this trade, even if they don't add anything else, it's the most aggressive trade deadline we've seen from the Mariners. And to your point, the best lineup we've seen in a really, really, really long time. I love this. From the 360, Jerry just built a lineup that makes you afraid to go to the bathroom in case you miss something. Well done.
Facts.
Yeah, Jerry and Justin are cooking, man. They're in there. And for as much as this front office, this team has been criticized at times, I think that there is a very clear purpose this season. It has felt so frustrating in years past to read national experts say, hey, the Mariners really need to do this. They have the prospects to deal. Right. There's a hot seat there, and then it feels like they're just not quite enough, and they're just not quite as aggressive as you'd like. This is very, very aggressive.
It is aggressive. This is we want to win now, and I think that's all that people have ever wanted, was to feel like there's a sense of urgency with this talent. And last year, they did a great job. They got the hottest bat at the trade deadline with Randy Rosarena. Let's not forget that. And this year, they double up. They said, look, we forget what we did last year. Watch what we're going to do this year to kind of add to this roster, this lineup, and add some power to this thing. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They turned in the assignment early, and they got extra credit points for this one.
All right, we're going to talk about, again, our expectations for this team coming up at 10:30. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp. We're at Seahawks training camp, by the way, and practice is underway, an early one today, in case you couldn't tell from the sound of whistles and music in the background. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, loss in all the trade commotion yesterday. The Mariners unfortunately dropped 2 of 3 to the A's after their 5-4 loss on Wednesday. What's the real headline?
I couldn't tell you how that game ended. I'm going to be really, really honest with you guys. I don't know the final score.
Flush it.
I remember a Brent Rooker home run, and then I just blacked out. I don't remember anything after that.
I remember Wu going 6 innings again, 21st or 22nd time this year.
Franchise record.
You can always count on him to do his thing. I remember feeling like, okay, this game is over, and then peeping the score and saying, all right, well, they battled back and tried to make something of this whole deal. But it's all about Geno right now, man. I mean, yeah, you lost 2 games in a row to the A's, a team that you felt like you should beat, even though they did just sweep the Astros. You respect your opponent. But it's time to move on. I hope we don't have to talk about this game much longer, because I'm focused on the Texans, and I want to see, or the Rangers, excuse me, and I want to see what this game looks like tonight.
I think it'll be really cool to watch a homestand begin clearly at home, but like to watch Geno's return be at home.
Yeah. Oh,
like it's really
fans are
nice.
going to go crazy.
Naylor gets his first home series. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I think the energy at T-Mobile is going to be absolutely insane.
I might be there.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline 2, the 2 best relievers are off the market, with the Padres landing former A's closer Mason Miller this morning, and the Phillies getting Joan Duran from the Twins yesterday. What's the real headline?
As someone who once received an A++ on an assignment, that's true. Let me tell you how the Mariners can get that grade at the deadline.
How?
Well, they've already got an A+, but add another arm,
add
A++.
another one.
And honest, that I don't mean to brag, but my project on which I got this grade in 5th grade was shown around. It was laminated and given to people as an example.
Really?
Of what the project should look
What was
like.
the project?
It was a math project about designing a golf course. So you had to have the creativity to come up with like cool course designs, but then it had to be like, I don't know, it was basic 5th grade math.
So what you're saying, when I hit the lotto
interest.
and I design a golf course, you're the person I need to talk
Curtis,
to.
I know you were talking just now. You're so lucky it's too loud here for me to hear that smack talk.
What did he say?
I don't even know. I don't know. I just heard him.
No, it was not smack talk at all. I said you've piqued Bump's interest talking about golf courses.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
for
right.
sure.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it was.
But also, you're a nerd.
No, not a nerd. I would. I just have always excelled in academia. And let's talk about the Mariners. The way that I think they get an A++ is, and I feel like I'm very much looking a gift horse, not even a gift horse in the mouth. Like I'm looking down my nose at like what has been a trade deadline that I could not be happier with. Getting it over the top would be adding just another arm.
Yeah, add another arm. But I'm fine. I'm good. I'm kicking back. I'm chilling. Let's see what they do.
Chilling, totally fine. Curtis, in your mind, so they've already added a reliever. Is it like, hey, get another high leverage reliever? What to you is when you look at arms their need? Is it, I don't know what kind of fifth starters are available. I know that some guys were dealt this morning.
Yeah, I think a starting pitcher might be a little tougher just because that's always the most in demand around this time of year. I mean, you can hit up the Diamondbacks again. Merrill Keller, Zach Callen, they're available.
At that point, I'd suspect collusion. Like if I was Manfred, I'd be like, are you like, is this like when your friends out of the playoffs in fantasy football and they're like, just giving you
their best players? I mean, in terms of best reliever available, maybe David Bednar from the Pirates. That's somebody who has generated a lot of interest. You made a trade with the Pirates yesterday and Caleb Ferguson. But yeah, more and more names are going here. So obviously there's going to be less and less to pick from. But I think, another arm, whether it be starter or reliever, could put this deadline even more over the top.
Bump, you mentioned, well, maybe I'll go to the game tonight. You already have people on the text line going like, we got a seat next to us. Come join us.
Come on now. Let's link up.
You have your pick.
Hit me up on Instagram. Let's make this work.
Bump's trying to get to the game tonight. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, the NFL's Hall of Fame game between the Chargers and Lions kicks off tonight at 5 p.m. on NBC. What's the real headline?
Bump, this one's for you. Seek help if you're watching this. You guys are sickos.
Listen.
You're freaks.
Football
I talked
perverts.
about surprises.
Ball perverts?
I am definitely that. I didn't even know this game was being played tonight. Talk about another surprise.
Wow, this is a huge couple days for you.
Hey, I saw it on the show sheet. I go, you're right, the game is tonight. So you know what I'm doing at 5 p.m.
First, the biggest trade of the deadline, and now the Hall of Fame game.
Hey, you already know.
Just when you thought you couldn't exceed Geno getting acquired, now the Chargers and Lions are going to play for nothing.
Hey, there's guys out there playing for their football lives.
Okay, you're right.
Don't disrespect the undrafted, the 6th, 7th round guys. Okay.
My bad. That's my mistake. We're gonna have some Seahawks stuff, obviously, to talk about today. We're literally sitting watching practice. Was that AJ Barner that went by earlier?
Yeah.
Bump's just popular. Everyone's always dapping him up, saying hi. You know,
I'm just closer to them. You're tucked away on the side.
I get really nervous when people go to dap me up. That's also the problem.
She doesn't know what to do.
I don't have a lot of experience.
It's hard being a woman with the dap up because respectfully, guys come in for the side hug. Sometimes they shake your hand. Like with me, it's simple. It's just like we pound or you just dap up.
See, I get like sometimes a respectful like a pound, high five. Most of the time, players do a side hug, very respectful, like hi, good to see you. So when someone comes in and, we're like, the anxiety that I feel raging through my body, I don't even know what to do. I need to practice. You just see me in the background, that's what's up. See, like I didn't have enough force. Okay. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Our next segment requires a little bit from you guys. It's going to be really, really easy, though. Bump and I are going to talk about whether or not our own expectations for this team have changed. Spoiler alert, yes. But we want you guys to be specific about how they've changed. If you're someone, for instance, who prior to the deadline was like, this team isn't good enough to make it to the playoffs, is your expectation now that they will? Like, bottom line, they must make the playoffs or else you'll feel disappointed. Maybe your expectation is that they must be more than a wild card. Maybe it's they win the division. Maybe it's that they make it to a World Series, right? I know not everyone feels that way, but certainly some of you do now. So we want to get a temperature check of how all of you Mariners fans are feeling about, hey, what's our baseline? What's our measuring stick for this team moving forward? That's coming your way next.
All together now.
Hey, you
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
On a roll.
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline.
I thought like, oh my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor?
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at seahawks.com/pro shop.
Recovery doesn't have to be boring. This event proves it. Have fun with sobriety at the 5th Annual Recovery Fun Fest at Seward Park Amphitheater Saturday, August 9th. From noon till 10, there's going to be non-stop fun and events. They'll be giving away a free electric car at the end of the night. Receive 25 tickets towards the free car drawing just by showing up, and win more tickets throughout the day by engaging in fun activities. The fun starts at noon with free picnic and carnival-style food. Be a kid again and join drop-in kickball, softball, dodgeball, and volleyball games. Recovery Fun Fest kicks off at noon with open 12-step meetings at 1 and 4 p.m. with national speakers at 8 p.m. Lip Sync Battle at 9 and car giveaway at 10, where you must be present to win. Children under 18 can give their tickets to a parent or guardian or a friend over 18. The 5th Annual Recovery Fun Fest at the Seward Park Amphitheater, August 9th. Brought to you by Freedom Hall in Greenwood. This event is fun and free. RecoveryFunFest.com.
Feeling the heat? Cool off with Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 25% on 2024 ACs and heat pumps during the final days of the warehouse clearance sale. Plus, PSC customers get AeroSeal duct sealing for as little as $99. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Buckle up. True country icon Clint Black is rolling into Muckleshoot Event Center Tuesday, August 5th on his Back on the Blacktop tour. Grab your boots and get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Clint Black, live and loud and only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details, you can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners sources confirm Gino Suarez will be in the lineup tonight at T-Mobile. Mariners back in town. A warm welcome back for Gino. A welcome here for Josh Naylor. Welcome home for the rest of the Mariners squad. Now, maybe one of the best teams in the American League. We're going to talk about that depth coming up at 10:45. Potentially another piece they could add. An outlook on what needs to go right for this team. Some of the remaining question marks we have. Overall, a wildly successful trade deadline right now. Bump, and I want to know your expectations for the Mariners after last night. Try to be specific with this one. So if it's, hey, I want them to win a World Series. If it's, I expect that they are just not a wild card team, that they win the division. Whatever it is, 866-979-3776. Text it in. Bump, I'm going to keep an eye on the text line for some of these answers from listeners. Have your expectations for the Mariners from a couple weeks ago for what you want to see this season changed?
Yeah, for me, my expectations before Gino were, all right, to sneak into that wild card spot or hold down the wild card spot, right? You're looking at Boston and the Rangers or whatnot, trying to fight those guys off. And then every now and then I would peek around the corner at the division and look at the Astros. At this point now, I'm solely focused on the Astros, especially with their injury situation. You have the better lineup. We asked, Schusterman yesterday, said, look, who has the most talented roster in the AL, in the West? And he said, there's a case that the Mariners have the most talented roster. Now with Gino, I'm going to go out there and say that he would say that they officially have the more talented roster in the AL West. So if you do have the most talented roster in the AL West, you should be competing for the division. These guys need to hang a banner. You need to experience something that we haven't felt in a very long time over here. So I'm excited. I went from hold down the wild card spot to win the division. And then I want to see how they're playing towards the end of the year. And then my expectations might change when we talk about playoffs.
Okay, listener expectations vary. I will say that. Some people are like, right now it's just still get into the playoffs. Like the baseline expectation is like make it as a wild card. This person said, until the Astros lose the division, I can't expect the Mariners to win. So with that being said, at minimum, I expect them to make the playoffs. It'd be nice if they could at least win the ALCS. Someone else said World Series or bust is their expectation now. 253 says AL West champion. The Houston Astros are injury riddled. So obviously American League Championship Series for them is what they would go. So a World Series appearance in that case, or making it to that series. Win it all, says JT from Bellingham. Overwhelmingly, playoffs is the bare minimum.
I like what the 425 said.
Yeah.
Playoffs clinched or bust.
Ooh, that's a good way to look at it, too.
That'd be nice to have a week left in the season, and you already know you're in the playoffs. Maybe have the division wrapped up. That's a big ask, but it would be nice to be clinched.
Yeah. I agree with that one. So is my expectation win the AL West? Look, this is the most banged up Astros team. The pitching is still phenomenal, but like a weird, very muddied, not just AL West, but American League. The good teams in the American League are still beatable.
Yeah.
The Dodgers aren't standing in front of you. You don't have the Phillies and Mets fighting it out. Like, it's just, hey, the Yankees and Aaron Judge now on the IL, and they have their own issues, with their team and their bullpen, and then the Astros, yeah, sure, like they've been nothing but consistent. You have to give them that, but they're banged up, man. Like for as lucky as it feels like that team is, they keep kind of running into more injuries.
Yeah.
Now you need to perform. You need to do your job. This is now not on Jerry and Justin in the front office. And in years past, we've been able to say that.
Exactly.
We've been able to say, well, what can you expect from the players when you're not adding enough talent? This time around, it's on you guys.
This is the first time in a long time, maybe ever, for Jerry, where he can sit back and say, all right, guys, it's all on you now. Like, the criticism towards me is done. I've done everything that I could. 2 years in a row, I got you the best bat out there. Got you 2 good bats this year.
Mm-hmm.
I got you an arm because the bullpen's been struggling. What else do you want me to do? Now he sits back and he watches. And it's up to Dan to make proper decisions at this point now, right? Game time decisions. And it's up to the players to execute. You got to perform. Julio quietly has 20 bombs. No one's really talking about that. He's going to be 20 for 2020 club with first one. Him and Bobby Witt could be the first ones to do it their first 4 seasons in the game. It's all about performance now. You have to hold up your end of the deal. Cal has done it for the most part this year. I think Randy has done it for the most part this year. Some other guys as well. But collectively, everyone has to come together and play like a championship-type team. And there's something different, right? When you do add a piece like Gino, your swag is different as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you walk different, you talk different, your expectations are different. So hopefully they play that way.
From the 425, if they don't play for the ALCS and sign either Gino or Josh, then they paid too much. What do you guys think about that one?
Curtis?
I don't see it as a failure if they don't extend both of them after the season. I mean, these are lottery tickets. It's what you're buying. And the Mariners have equipped themselves to play well down the stretch of the season. And if you don't re-sign either, if you don't re-sign one, I still don't look at this as a failure of a trade. I think these are 2 great moves that the Mariners should have been making years and years and years ago, that I think is going to make for a highly intriguing, highly interesting final 2 months of this season.
Yeah, I'm with Curtis 100%. I used to rent furniture back in the day, so I don't mind renting baseball players to win a championship. Like, let's go get it.
I lease a car, you know what I mean? Like,
and here's the thing, too. Like, I think one of the best things that happened was when Gino got on the plane with his family and they felt the love. Those are the things that kind of keep a player here. Obviously, you got to perform, get a relationship with the guys up in management. You got to do all that stuff, but you got to feel the love from your players, and they did exactly that for Gino and his family.
Joe, in Bellevue, my expectations prior to the trades were sneak into the wild card, lose quickly. ALCS, though, now a real possibility. I want these Mariners to win the division just as I did 2 weeks ago, says the 360. So they said, hey, my expectations are still win the AL West. Now it's just I feel a little more confident about it. Jumping from maybe squeak into the playoffs to win the division is the most popular answer. The most popular answer by far from listeners is my expectation is now that they can catch the Houston Astros.
I think that is the mature approach to this thing. I know people who are saying win the World Series, I'm with you. That would be great, and I think you should aim high. But you got to crawl before you walk. You know, you got to catch the Astros first. And your expectations can change throughout the season. Mine have changed. Mine went from, hold down the last wild card spot to move up one notch to now, let's go ahead and get the AL West. But we got to see the product on the field now. We got to see everything come together. You got all the pieces in place, but if the players don't execute, then it's not all for nothing because you gave yourself a chance, but it's a performance-based business. I have confidence that they are going to perform. I have confidence that they could catch the Astros. But give me a week or two and let's see how this team is performing.
425, what do these signings signal to free agents next season? I mean, I think being aggressive and particularly consistently winning signals to free agents this is a place you can go to at least win. Like, even if you're not going to see the best offensive stats of your career at T-Mobile, well, at least that's, I think, the popular sentiment. We know that Cal's having an unreal season, blah, blah, blah. But if you think I'm going to a place that cares about winning, I keep going back to that Justin Turner article, that interview with USA Today's Bob Nightingale, where he was like, I didn't want to be the only piece they added. I doubt he's the only free agent to kind of be hesitant about going to not just the Mariners, but any team where you're like, I want them to really want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that
signals that they really want it.
Exactly. It changes the way. I'm telling you, it's almost like the perception on Jerry DiPoto just did a 180. Right? It went from a guy who was claiming 54% and saying fans should be grateful, about what's been out there so far, to a guy who looks like a go-getter. And I think that's all that the fans wanted, was to feel like the leadership there is going to do everything possible to make sure that this team has an opportunity to win. It's changed the way I look at Jerry DiPoto. Like, I've always respected him because I know how hard it is to be in his position and to be criticized constantly and to work with the budget that he's been working with. But it's changed, man. This should be like just a praise Jerry type show today because he got it done.
206. Have there been any recent examples where trades of this magnitude have worked out or failed for a team? I mean,
Sure, they're out there.
well, I'll say this about acquiring Geno. This was not a massive surrendering of talent for the Mariners, not nearly as much as some people thought it would be. So that's not where the magnitude is. The magnitude in what they're acquiring is unprecedented. Never before has a player with 35 or more home runs been traded at the deadline, mostly because those teams are typically in contention, probably because they're not unfortunate enough to be playing in the NL West. So this is the first time that's happened. So that's kind of where the magnitude of the trade lies, is just what Geno's capable of. There have been many, many examples of teams that have made some really key acquisitions at the trade deadline and then gone on to make a deep playoff run, win their division, or win it all. I love the Braves as an example. They made 4 key acquisitions. This is after losing Acuna, after losing a couple guys. They were injury-riddled. People thought, are they going to be sellers? And they make 4 key signings.
Yeah.
And they end up winning a World Series. And Curtis, correct me if I'm wrong, weren't 2 of those signings a Series MVP and then a World Series MVP?
I believe so, yeah. Jorge Soler was one of them.
So I think that Atlanta Braves team is a perfect example of, and they had a lot of firepower, but they lost their best bat. That's a perfect example of what can happen when a team gets hot at the right time, has a level of underlying talent, gets great opportunities, but then does make key acquisitions.
You know what heightens your chances of getting hot? Talent. You got it. Come on.
All right. We're going to stick with Geno here very quickly. The Seahawks are closing in on the preseason, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on Friday, August 15th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 4th. We talked about the message Sherry DePoto and Justin Hollander sent to fans. What about the one being sent to the players? That's next.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and having to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help.
with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Summer can be the best time of the year, but if it's not feeling good in your house, if it's turning into an oven, some of the problems might be because you don't have enough insulation in your crawl space or attic. In fact, many homes in our region have damaged insulation or even none at all. Yeah, it's Mike Salk here, and you got to get somebody to check on it. That's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and do a full corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. And if it turns out that you've got a problem with your insulation, and maybe that's leading to bigger energy bills, guess what? Local utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of getting your house properly insulated. In fact, if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get your attic properly insulated. Yep, 95%. Call Crawl Pros if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A couple things to cover here following the Mariners' acquisition of Gino Suarez. Mariner sources confirm he will be in the lineup tonight at T-Mobile. The first thing is about kind of a message sent to players. We talked about, for fans, it's, wow, awesome, they're all in. Bump, I think for players, it's kind of handing over, like, I did my job.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't make the playoffs, you cannot say you didn't have enough talent. It's either bad luck, injury, or execution.
I would imagine there were some points during DePoto's tenure here that he would walk through the clubhouse and people would show love and respect, but it was a bit different, right? It's more like a corporate relationship. I would imagine now that they're looking at him a bit differently, that they're looking at him and saying, like, thank you. Maybe not saying the words thank you, but with their eyes, with their conversation, with their body language, like, thank you. Like, you believe in this group, and they've always believed in this group. So I think that relationship will definitely take a bit of a change. And if I'm Dan, I'm thinking thank you as well, because this is my first full year as a skipper here ever, but especially here with the Mariners, and you've given me everything needed to make a push at this division. So the relationship should change for sure.
I know that you played football, not baseball, but it's probably easy to put your mind in kind of the place of any competitive athlete. If you're a player in that clubhouse, how are you probably feeling hearing about this trade?
I'm excited. You know, I've played on teams where we line up and we know a lot of things got to go right for us to win. Like, there's some talent out here, but we know that we're outmatched man for man. And then I played on teams where we're lined up and we're saying we should beat y'all. We should beat this team. Then it just feels different. So I think as a player, you're a bit more confident. And baseball is different because it's an individual team sport. It's you against the pitcher, and you have to hope that your counterpart, you know, comes through and does his part. But now I think there's just a belief that you can do it. You know, we used to get through the first three and in the lineup, and I'd be like, all right, well, we'll see after this, our first four. And be like, all right, well, we'll see after this. But now you can push it down to like 6 and then have a bit more belief that these guys are going to execute. So I think that's part of it. But I also know that in professional sports, I mean, you're still rooting for 7, 8, 9. Sure. And you feel like they're capable of doing it, especially if there are some of these young guys. But there's just a different belief that you have when you run out onto the field, when you look at your roster and you see nothing but talent.
I agree with you, though. I think of teams that make the playoffs really regularly and kind of no matter what happens, they have that very irksome belief that they can win no matter what. It's like when the Yankees were facing the Mariners in that unfortunate series in which Seattle was swept. Even with that lead that they had, 5 runs, Woo's pitching a no-hitter, you felt like the Yankees, like once they started getting into it and fans are getting up, you're like, God, they think they're going to win this. They really do. And then, of course, they do. We don't need to get back to that. Let's never talk about that game again. Speaking of talent, Mariners lineup on paper, maybe the best in the American League. And I'll say Mariners team. I keep saying the lineup because these additions have been bats, but the pitching in theory, on paper, should still be really, really solid. You've got 6 All-Stars on this team right now with Munoz, Julio, Cal, Woo, Gino, Arozarena. That's more than the Yankees, and the same as the Tigers, who also had 6. That is the most in the American League. You are tied for #1 in the American League now with 6 All-Stars on your team.
Yeah, and it's about acquiring talent. I know that, you know, Moneyball changed the way that some people look at baseball, and you can construct teams in other ways and just get the right formula of guys, right chemistry, right balance or whatnot, and your coaches helping them out, and you might go out there and win some ball games, but at the end of the day, it's talent that wins you ball games, especially in baseball when the skip doesn't have influence on the game like in other sports. So it's about acquiring talent, and you just mapped out they got talent on the roster, and that's the first step to really having your fan base believe that you're capable of doing it. Like, I always felt like this team could do it because we've seen them get hot. We've seen guys play out of their minds. You know, you get great defensive players from Ben Williamson, filling for my guy right now. You get hot with Julio, obviously having the Cal having his season. But if you have more talent, you have better chances of getting hot and making these runs and not having to depend on one person. I think that is what excites me the most, is that you're liable to have anybody 1 through 6 just really have a night and go nuts and not just have to depend on Cal hitting the bomb all the time. So, yeah, 5 All-Stars sounds good.
I think when a team that you watch is bad for a very long time, disappointing for a very long time, and for Mariners fans, that's been the case. Regardless of winning seasons, yes, you made the playoffs in 22. This team has been objectively frustrating for the majority of most people's lives. I think that very naturally and very fairly you get into this place of challenging any positive belief about your team. And moreover, and we know this from experience because when we speak positively about the team, even something we're genuinely excited about, reacting to a great series win, right? We have to react every day. Immediately we get like, oh my God, you guys are homers, you're just whatever. And I get it, because more often than not, we collectively have been heartbroken. This is a time when I'm really, really encouraging people, not from the point of view of like any kind of like homerism take, from a baseball point of view. I'm really encouraging people to look at this Mariners team with more optimism than you normally would, and maybe even with a sense of belief and letting yourself think, look, it is not just, you know, a fake kind of feeling to look at this roster and say, oh no, this team could go pretty far in the playoffs. Like, I know that we're just not used to thinking that. We're not used to being there. I completely understand it. This is not just a positive spin. This is not just me trying to say things. This is me objectively looking at the roster going, oh my God.
Yeah,
you
just
get a couple things breaking your way. This could be scary.
Just be in the moment, right? This is a good moment, a moment that most people have not experienced in a long time with this team. Just like 509, right? 509, be in the moment. 509 says, stop saying Dipoto can wash his hands. His offseason put us 5 games behind. I don't think you understand how the offseason works. Free agents got to want to come here. The Poto can't force anybody
Your
to
pitching
get here.
injuries did as much, too.
Yeah, and it's, look, what has he done lately? That's what we should focus on, and that's typically what we have to do here as analysts is like what has happened lately and what have people done lately. And lately, the Poto went out there and got you the 2 best bats, and he got you an arm. You're looking at this team differently. I'm not going to focus on what he did or didn't do in the offseason. That's over with. What is that going to do for me? If he had done nothing at this trade deadline, then you kind of compound things and say, okay, why aren't these guys able to get free agents, and why didn't they get someone at the trade deadline? I know why they're not able to get free agents, because no one wants to come here and hit the baseball. It's hard to hit the baseball over here. So what does he do? He has to focus at the trade deadline. And for 2 years in a row, he's done what he's supposed to do at the trade deadline.
253. So they picked up a reliever and 2 bats, and the bats are rentals. Do you think it's worth it if they can only sign one of the bats, none of the bats?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is what blows my mind, and I will say 99% of listeners are, I'm with you guys, I'm so excited. But when I see once in a while something that's like, does anything make you happy? And also, if you were born prior to the mid-'70s, late 70s, you've seen the Mariners in the playoffs 5 times ever. And there's a good chunk of you that have seen them in the playoffs once. The 3 of us are in our 30s. 2 of you are married with kids, and we've seen as like adults or teenagers the Mariners in the playoffs once.
Yeah.
On what planet would you stare at a trip to the playoffs and go, I don't know if it's worth it? I didn't have to give up any top prospect to experience this, but I couldn't extend Josh Naylor, so it's not worth it. Like, shut up. What are you doing?
You want an opportunity to win. I think that you legitimately have that. I feel your feels.
You look
know
at the price
I mean?
tag on presents is what you do.
I would hate to live in that mental space. I'm in the now, and right now, this team are playoff contenders.
253, I need you to join us. Join us. We love you.
Come on.
We love you. Join us.
We got room for you, dog. Let's go.
Wait, come on, man. All right. We are going to take a quick Mariners break. We are definitely going to get back to this. And also, it's still the trade deadline is today, so we're still keeping an eye out for more moves. But everything we learned from Mike Macdonald and John Schneider coming your way next.
All together now.
Hey, you
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
On a roll.
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
We are all over baseball's trade deadline.
I thought, like, oh my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor?
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Dave Wyman joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, what could patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Where are your patients from?
We see patients from all over, patients from out of state, Alaska, Idaho, from all over the world, honestly, since it's such a short treatment.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would encourage patients to reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation.
Thank you, Dr. Landis and the team at Swedish CyberKnife for the wonderful work they do. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. That's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at seahawks.com/pro shop.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handle employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. And I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, ma'am, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, hey, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. Furniture and household items you plan to throw away? We work with organizations all over Western Washington to donate used items. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
How we going, mates? It's Rowland-Smith for Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. So I've told you this before. I dropped 30 pounds in 60 days, but that was back in the month of March. Well, how am I doing now? I'm doing awesome. I'm keeping the weight off. I haven't even moved in regards to adding the pounds. I've kept right there at a steady 220, feeling amazing. I only have to, measure myself, check in basically once a week now, but this is so easy. I have to travel a lot for the season with the Mariners, obviously, and heading off to MLB Network on the East Coast. So it can be tough. When I get it, when you travel, some of the airport food and everything else, it can be tough. But listen, they give you the systems, the guidelines to keep you in check and to keep the weight off. It is so easy, and I can't believe how well it worked. Go to eastsideweighlossclinic.com, have a free 15-minute conversation with Dr. Ryan Coogan and his team, and change your life just like I did right now and keep the weight off. It is the best feeling ever.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are headed back home for a series against the Texas Rangers tonight. This is a big one. Both teams 57-52. Mariners need to stay ahead here in the AL West, or else you're looking up at two teams for the division. The good news, Mariners sources confirm Geno Suarez will be in the lineup tonight. I'm sure Mariners fans will make him feel right at home. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. George Kirby on the mound. Pre-game show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, for the first time today, even though we are live at Seahawks training camp, Bump and I said to actually talk about the Seahawks. The Mariners threw a wrench in it, with today's trade deadline and a big series against the Rangers and quite obviously a massive trade for Geno Suarez. So we will get back to the Mariners. Obviously, we're keeping an eye out for any trades. And if there is a Mariners trade, we'll interrupt whatever we're doing and we'll break that news and we'll make sure that you guys are up to date. Everyone's keeping an eye out for the deadline. Right now, though, we learned a ton from Mike Macdonald, who was on with Brock and Salk this morning. Bump. John Schneider was on with Wyman and Bob yesterday. A lot to take away here. Do you want to start with Mike or John?
Let's go with John.
Okay, we'll start with John. John Schneider, now ironically talking about Mike, but still some good takeaways. We're going to go to cut 10. John's observations of Mike heading into year 2.
I think he's just so much more comfortable now, hiring all these coaches, going through an offensive coaching change, knowing, having that time to know exactly what he was looking for. with Clint in the offensive staff, and having the strength of the teachers on the other side of the ball. And then, he has that natural defensive, intelligence mindset that the defensive guys love. And quite honestly, last year, like some of the offensive guys wanted him more too, right? So I think he's just getting in that flow of being able to, work both sides.
I'm wondering if, and John kind of hinted at it with him there, if Mike is going to be slightly more involved in either overseeing the offense or just having, his fingerprints on the offense.
I mean, you would imagine the more he does this, the more he understands how to delegate his time and what his team actually needs and what his coaches need, like what type of support they need as well. Dirty is still slotted to be the defensive coordinator here. So I think a lot of that is contingent on what Dirty does, how he's developing. The more that he's able to pass off to him, the more he's able to walk around and delegate and do what Schneider was describing, like get on the offensive side more. Just because he's a defensive guru does not mean he does not understand the offense. It means he really understands the offense, and he hired his guy with an understanding of that offense. So, no, I think eventually, man, you'll start to see him on both sides of the football a bit more, and that's what he wants to do. That's why he has the guys in place that he does have, and I think that's better for the team, because when you have guys out here who are yearning for his attention, it means that they trust him and they want to learn from him.
All right, so the good news is that John Schneider was able to join Wyman and Bob after the Seahawks made a roster move, so they were able to get some insight into the release of Noah Fant. First, cut 12, John saying they did try to make things work.
We tried to make things work. We just got to a point where we thought, you know what, like, okay, look, Noah's awesome. He works his tail off. He can run. He's a good tight end, and he'll have a very nice, productive year this year. We just felt like, in getting back to what I was saying about doing what's best for the organization, we were at a point where we were just saying to ourselves, okay, could we? Unfortunately, you have to look at things like this. Like, can we use that cash to help our team in a different manner? Mm-hmm. And are we okay at that position? And are we covered there? And while we never feel like we're totally covered, guys did have very strong springs.
That was John more eloquently saying he's a cap casualty.
Yeah, essentially. And I think he's looking at A.J. Barner. Mm-hmm. He's looking at Arroyo, Saubert, and saying, all right, we can get that type of production out of these guys, so why pay that much? Let's make some room to make some moves and make our team better. It happens every single year. There are some guys who get released every year that, fans maybe like, and a guy who was productive, but he's costing too much. His production doesn't match his contract, and that's just the nature of the business. So, yeah, man, it's how the game goes.
In this Kubiak offense, is it really, really imperative that your tight ends are pretty good blockers?
Oh, what?
I know, it's a ridiculous question, but it's because Noah is not great at that. I'm wondering if that's also a factor. Like, Elijah is a pass-catching tight end, but he's a rookie on a rookie deal.
Yeah, the difference with Arroyo is that he has room to grow. I'm not saying Fant is done growing, but when you hit year 6 or 7, you pretty much are who you are if you're not a quarterback. I think quarterbacks can always continue to grow because they have so much responsibility. But, yes, when you're looking at this Kubiak offense, they're going to have 2-3 tight ends out there, and you got to get nasty. You got to get physical, and that isn't this his strong suit. So I think he's found a place. I'm going to talk about that in 4-down territory, and I think it's the perfect spot for him because of his skill set.
Yeah, I agree. I can see, like, maybe how they weren't going to release him last year, but I can see even how, from the point of view of offensive coordinators, Ryan Grubb might have seen Fant as a different weapon. And for Kubiak, he's like, give me Robbie Oots, give me Barner, you know what I mean? Give me these running backs, give me a big guard, add that guard Gray Zabel, like, let's go. Like, I just kind of valuing different approaches there, and so I wonder if that factored into it as well. Okay, one more from John, and then we'll get to Mike. I just thought this was interesting. We're going to go to cut 12. We've talked about how John has changed, or rather John talked about how John has changed when it comes to a draft approach. How about on where he's improved? Cut 11.
Probably the conflict management, being able to have more direct conversations, and just it takes time. You just have to feel more comfortable with it, and like, hey, this isn't going to work out, or we need to fix this, or we can't conduct ourselves in this manner. I think just probably those just the direct communication and not trying to dance around things, or there's just always a way to present things and be empathetic to the players and or staff or whatever's going on. But at the end of the day, the thing that we always have to remember is like, we always have to do what's best for the organization, period, point blank, and that's how we roll.
bump, what would you value in a GM?
I would value someone who isn't afraid to make tough decisions, someone who communicates clearly, and someone who has a great relationship with the head coach and the rest of the coaching staff and takes feedback. Because, yes, he's the GM and he has the final say with a lot of decisions over here, but you have to lean on the people who are in the building with these guys every day, in the classroom, on the field with them, and get feedback from there. And then know what your expertise is. What are you good at? You know, when I was a head coach, I knew the offensive line, but my O-line coach knew it better than me. So I leaned on him, like, all right, well, what do you think here? This is what I see. What do you see? So just being able to bounce ideas off of him and not just be a dictatorship. End of the day, you got the final word, but why do you have 20 guys on staff if you're not going to use that information? And a scouting department, marketing, like you got to be able to bounce off of everybody.
Well, and it's probably such a difficult thing to delicately manage honesty and respect and keeping those relationships open. Like, you don't want to release a guy, make you think you don't believe in him, and then maybe he takes off and you want to be able to promote him or you want to be able to acquire him via trade. You know what I mean? Like, you want to keep respect from players for you. No one likes getting released. No one likes getting traded. No one, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to burn bridges no matter what. So it's like, God, how do you do that? And at the end of the day, like you said, players value honesty.
Yep.
Don't make me think you're going to keep me here and then deal me or cut me.
B100. I dealt with a coach before who praised people to their faces, and then when there was in a room when that person isn't there, just talk them. And
that's crazy.
And I saw in that moment, I go, this isn't going to last long.
No.
Because you have to be able to, guys have to be able to trust you. Even if you're telling them something they don't want to hear, you still have to tell them. They still have to hear it.
He's still a coach.
Huh?
Is he still a coach?
No, he's not. He's not.
Didn't last
long gone.
All right, let's go to Mike Macdonald. I'm going to jump to cut 20 here. One of the things that Mike Macdonald drew a ton of praise for in a players' union evaluation was in teaching and training and being able to accept feedback. He talked about where he's still getting coached up. Cut 20.
I'm in a little bit of if you go hire a CEO to run a big company, like they're probably coming from another company as a CEO, bringing that experience. I'm kind of the new guy trying to figure it out too. And it's like, we have a clear vision we're trying to create, but I'm learning as well, I'm getting coached. I'm getting coached in every team meeting and getting feedback consistently. So I think hopefully they feel that, I'm right there with them on, this spirit of like improvement, chasing edges and all that stuff, that I'm right there with the guys doing it as well.
I think it's really cool that I don't know if other coaches do this. I'm sure they do. There's always a growth mindset in the NFL, but I think it's really, really cool how much he values teaching and learning.
I think that he is rare in the NFL.
Really?
When it comes to teaching, of course, right? If you're not teaching your players, then you're not going to have success. But I think him revealing that he wants to get coached up too, because the culture of football is just discipline. There's hierarchy, there's discipline. When you're on the football field, right? You don't talk back to the coach. You only get feedback when he asks for feedback. You know what I mean? Like, it's this is some 2025 stuff that he's able to come out here and be vulnerable about and say, look, this is my approach to the game too. I think that there are coaches who are always being coached up. That's why you have like a Frazier on the staff or whatnot. But there aren't too many coaches who publicly say, look, I'm still learning. I'm still getting coached up. There are things that I'm working on, and I think that's refreshing. I think that you're probably going to see more and more of that just because the culture of just our society and football is changing. But it's cool to hear him come out there and say it.
So this is related to that. It's a different part of the same conversation. It's about learning and coaching and taking feedback. And Brock and Salk, who actually did this interview, this was one of their favorite parts. It's cut 21. Take a listen to Mike Macdonald.
Yeah, so, we tape it and we get a summary of it and get criticized and areas of improvement and what you did well. And
the kicker?
Yeah, Hausch, man.
I didn't know that was happening. Did you?
No.
I didn't know Hauschka was here doing that. That's kind of cool.
I mean, they're not here. He's at his house. But they're going to come
Tremendous
back and forth,
ping-pong
and they
player.
work with folks in the building and work with me.
That's cool. So it's almost like watching film on yourself and in your role as a leader and communicator.
Right now, I don't have the guts to watch it, so I do like the transcript of it.
Isn't that cool? It's like, okay, here's literally a film, like either a recording or you sit in on it with me coaching, me training, me doing a meeting, whatever, and then I'm evaluated on how I led that meeting.
No, that's cool. I mean, how else do you get better? And I think that every coaching staff has that OG on the coaching staff. Here is Coach Frazier, right? But now they're taking it to the next level. They're saying, let me see it. My body language, how I talk to this team. Do I make eye contact? And then you're getting notes as well. That's what football is all about. You take what you've done and you get instant feedback and you work on it. Like right now, we're watching them. We're watching the Blue Angels.
Dude, they're flying so low.
Watching the Blue Angels do maneuvers right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure what they're going to do, they're going to go back and talk about, all right, on this maneuver, let's fix that. You know, it's all about getting better over here, even with the Blue Angels.
That's crazy how close that is. Every time I see it get, because, you know, the sound is like a little delayed. Every time I see it get really low, I'm like, I'm about to not hear anything Bump's going to say in 1 second. All right. A bit more from Mike Macdonald. Let's talk about the players on the field. I love hearing about Mike. It's going to get loud. I love hearing about Mike, the coach, and how he's working on himself and how he's continuing to grow. I also really want to know more about this quarterback situation. I want to know more about Sam Darnold here in Seattle. We're going to cut 23. Mike, on what he's learned about Darnold this summer.
I think it kind of confirms what we thought about him. You know, I think you have a great feel for like the relationships he has with the offense, the offensive line, his receivers. I think those guys they're learning him. I think that's probably the biggest difference is their relationship. You can feel has really grown from the spring. That's just a function of time, but it's also, you know, it's a shout out to him and the effort that he's put forth. You know, get together, the throwing sessions in the summer, you know, the hangouts at night during camp, all those things. I mean, all those things is really important.
I know we're very limited in what we've seen from Sam this offseason, but Bump, so far, we were able to catch like 1 or 2 OTAs and mini camps. We've been here every day for training camp. What's Sam's offseason look like to you?
It looks productive. It looks and sounds like, too. I'm going to throw sound in there because we interviewed Jake Bobo yesterday, and I told him, like, look, man, I don't know anything about this dude's personality. Like, tell me something about him. And Jake Bobo said he took control of this team as soon as he arrived here. And I asked for a screen yesterday, Stacy. There's a screen that looked like it gained about 15 yards. All right, but I was just watching Ken Walker. But he said he took control of this team. And how do you do that? With some of the things that Mike Macdonald is talking about. He's talking about the throwing sessions, meeting up late after training camp. Those are things that quarterbacks have to do to gain the trust of these guys and to get to know them as well, man, because when you're on the football field, you got to know somebody's personality. There were some players I played with, when they messed up, I had to give them 5 minutes and be like, all right, man, chill. Then I'll come back. There are other players where I can give instant feedback, like, look, this is what you're doing. There are some players that respond well to being coached tough. There are some players that need to be nurtured a little bit. And as a quarterback, you are in control of an offense. You need to understand all your personnel, physically and emotionally and even spiritually as well. I mean, that goes a long way. We talk to players a lot, and they talk about their religion and their faith or whatnot. So the more information, just like a defense, the more information you have, the better you are.
There's so much sound from these two that we didn't get to. 2 long interviews and great interviews. We might get back to it a bit later in the show, but Mike Macdonald again spoke with Brock and Salk. That'll be on the Brock and Salk podcast. And then the John Schneider interview is with Wyman and Bob. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by the Landing in Renton. What you're hearing is the Blue Angels overhead, a current Seahawks practice. Normally they hit the field around 1, but it's underway right now. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory. Going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. Was Harbaugh right in his assessment of Lamar Jackson?
So I don't know if you heard this, but Harbaugh sat down with someone from ESPN, and he said Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback of the game. In the game, better than Josh, better than Pat Mahomes, better than whoever you are thinking about right now when you're saying Harbaugh is crazy. But he has a case. Last year, Lamar Jackson had the best QB rating at 119.3. He had the second most touchdowns behind Burrow with 41. He had the least interceptions when you talk about the qualified QBs with 4, and he was second. He is second all time when it comes to best TD to interception ratio. He has a case. And I told you yesterday that if I'm starting a team, I'm picking Lamar Jackson as my quarterback because of the way I want to run an offense. He has a case. I still think Pat Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the game right now, but I also think that we cannot minimize exactly what Lamar Jackson does. We can't minimize the 41 touchdowns to 4 interceptions and rush for 915 yards at the same time. He does something that no other quarterback can do. Josh Allen won the MVP last year, and he deserved the MVP last year. But, hey, if I'm Harbaugh, I'm gassing up my QB too, because when it comes to historic numbers, he's right up there with the best of them. And I'm glad that he pointed it out, because I think he's been pigeonholed and people kind of see him as this running quarterback who's off schedule, who doesn't really know how to throw the football. I mean, last year he was prolific, so let's see if he can build off of that.
I think athleticism that he has and the Ravens offense, to your point, will always keep people just thinking like, oh, he'll get hurt, so he won't have the longevity of other quarterbacks, and B, he doesn't really pass. But like, there are still people that will look at Lamar and go, well, he's a running quarterback. And you're like, you can't even say that about quarterbacks anymore. There isn't really like, oh, that guy just runs and that's really all he does. No. Then that guy's not a long-term starter.
The position is evolving right in front of our very eyes.
Yeah. Second down. You just mentioned another running back, Ken Walker, but we're talking about Zach Charbonnet. What's something you've seen from Zach that you love?
So we were sitting here watching these guys practice, and you got into a one-on-one situation. And typically when running backs get into one-on-ones, they're playing against outside backers, maybe even safeties at times, and they're just running. I mean, they're thinking, look, I'm just going to beat you with speed. And I remember when I got to college, I tried to just beat somebody with speed, and I realized I got to move them off their spot, make them think something is true when it's not. And that's exactly what I saw from Zach Charbonnet, is he was moving guys off their spot. He's attacking leverage. I'm going to attack this shoulder so I can slide inside. I'm going to get on him, be patient with my release, shake him, move him, and go. He looked like a true route runner, and you have to be that in this offense. Ken Walker has to be that. Zach Charbonnet has to be that. David Martinez has to be that. I mean, you can still have success and not look like a receiver. You are a running back, for crying out loud, right? You're 5'10", 225, 30 pounds. But Zach Charbonnet understands how to move people, and I saw that, and I was impressed by it. So you keep up the good work, Zach Charbonnet. Whatever wide receiver clinic you're going to, you keep doing it, because he looks like he understands the art of route running.
I can't believe every year we're out here, it corresponds with...
Goodness gracious.
That was so close. With Seafair, so the Blue Angels are always out here for 1 or 2 days in practice.
That's the loudest it's ever been.
That's the loudest it's ever been. And also, there is something about seeing them fly so regularly over practice while the players are practicing, because normally it doesn't overlap with an early practice. I feel like I'm watching, it's like a football commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where's the beer?
Guys got pads on.
Where's the beer?
Jets are flying over.
Jets flying.
Someone's going to be like shotgunning right over here in the corner.
American bald eagles flying.
There's literally a bald eagle. This is too much.
It's the most American thing you've ever seen.
Third down. What move made by a team might go under the radar but could get a great return?
So we talked about a cap casualty in Noah Fant, and it sounds like he's going to sign with the Cincinnati Bengals. Perfect offense for him. They do run the football, obviously, but they're going to throw the heck out the rock with Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. And last year, their tight end Gesicki had 665 yards and 2 touchdowns. Look, he can blend right in. All he needs is about 400 yards and a touchdown, and he will be just fine. I think that's the type of situation Noah Fant needs to be in, and that's why he's not here with this team today. Doesn't mean he wasn't a good football player. He just doesn't match what Kubiak needs out of a tight end, and they needed to make some space so they can go spend some money. So I'm happy for Noah Fant. I've been tracking him this whole time because I know he's a good ball player. I've watched the film on him. It's just sometimes you move on. You know, the couples break up all the time, and it's just because they don't see eye to eye on some stuff. They don't hate each other. You know, they still got love for each other, but it just wasn't the right situation. So that's what I saw for Noah Fant. I'm happy he's going to be with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect situation for him.
Well, and it ends up working out sometimes for other guys, and I don't know that it's always an indictment on the team that that player was with, right? And I know you mentioned, like, sometimes it's a better fit, but I'm immediately thinking of yesterday when we talked about D. Eskridge with the Dolphins. Did you read that? I'm spoiling one of our later segments because I know we're talking about it with headlines, but that Tua hasn't thrown a pick at camp so far. I know that's a training
What did I tell you about training camp
I'm just
stats?
saying it's something to look. I'm just saying it's there. You know what I mean? I can't. It's like I don't want to give credit to the stat, but I'm seeing the stat. It's standing there in the corner. It's looking me in the face. It's just staring at me right now. I don't know what to do with it.
Good for Tua. Good for Tua.
Fourth down. Anything stand out from Mike Macdonald's interview?
Yeah, so for the later part of that interview, we were actually standing right here listening. And he said that training camp is his favorite part of the year. And I scratched my head a little bit, but I also understand where he's coming from because he's such a builder of men and he's a teacher. When do you teach the most? It's during training camp. When do you find out the most about your team? It's during training camp, right? This is when you kind of set the pillars and say, okay, how are we going to grow? How are we going to build this thing? And as a player, if you take that mentality too, like training camp is my favorite part of the year because you get to prove yourself, your improvement is going to be crazy. Your development is going to be crazy. But yeah, it's about playing ball games. Guys want to get out there and compete, but this is where you build the foundation. As the Williams just passed again, this is where you build the foundation. So, yeah, I like that he feels like this is his favorite part of the year. Also because he doesn't have to deal with the media judging every move that he's making and critiquing him or whatnot. There are lots of things outside of football that start during the regular season. So he's a true teacher, and that response right there really highlighted that.
Lloyd Howell was always a bad choice to lead the NFLPA, but Pablo Torre shared that one former Seahawk was against his hiring from the very start. That's next.
All together now.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
On a roll.
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline.
I thought, like, oh my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor?
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Need a new roof, but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Get in the game at Hoops on the Pier. Friends of Waterfront Park and Rise Above are hosting a 2-day youth basketball camp at Pier 62 for ages 6 to 16. It's free, it's fun, and it's right on the water. July 31st and August 1st. Plus, open courts during the afternoons. Open to all ages and abilities. Don't have a basketball? No worries. We have a ball for you. Live out your Hoops dreams on the waterfront. More info at waterfrontparkseattle.org. Brought to you by Friends of Waterfront Park.
Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland have that new car you've been looking for. With the power of choice, drive the sleek hybrid Camry leasing as low as $299 a month, the dependable Corolla, or the electric Prius leasing at just $309 a month. If you're headed to the ballpark or cruising I-5 from the north or the south, visit Toyota of Renton or Kirkland or shop online at toyotaofrenton.com and toyotaofkirkland.com. Offers valid through August 4th, 2025. Excludes taxes, license, and negotiable $200 dealer documentation fee. See dealership for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
1-877
Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long, I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It's The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, taking a look at the top stories you're going to see and hear, so we'll get you caught up right now. Last week, a curious picture was posted to the Instagram of LeBron James. He was meeting with his business partner, Maverick Carter, great name, and Nikola Jokic's agent in France. Now we know the subject of that meeting, so this is the new part of the story. A new European basketball league from Yahoo Sports. They met in Saint-Tropez last week to discuss a new international basketball league being formed. It's 6 men's and 6 women's teams, a touring format like Live Golf or F1, a full-time responsibility. So, for instance, current NBA players, WNBA players would not be able to play in both leagues. Players get equity backed by global investors. NBA rules block player ownership. So it would be different than the rumored NBA-supported league Adam Silver has hinted at starting over the last few months.
That's different, huh?
Mm-hmm.
LeBron trying to get in. He's on his way out. He's on his way out, so he's setting himself up being the great businessman that he is. And I think leagues like this are good because there are always some players who are probably on the bubble when it comes to playing in the NBA. They go to the G League or whatnot, and it gives them an opportunity to play some competitive basketball. And I like it. I like it, man. And I hope LeBron gets himself a team.
Next up, someone asked if we could please ask the Blue Angels to fly a little quieter.
A little quiet down a little bit.
Quiet down a bit, yeah.
I feel you.
They are getting real close. Lloyd Howell was always a very bad choice to lead the NFLPA. Pablo Torre, on the newest edition of Pablo Torre finds out, he's been at the, I can't believe that Pablo Torre, I mean, I can because he's so great,
Pablo,
but like,
ain't it?
he really unleashed this whole thing, uncovered this whole thing. What a great journalist. He shared that a former Seahawk was against his hiring from the very start, cut 15.
And so what happened was, Mike, I wound up finding an executive committee member from that time, 2023, who did not feel the same way as J.C. Tretter and Austin Eckler. Richard Sherman, the superstar cornerback for the Seahawks, who served on the executive committee for almost 10 years at this point in time, did more than disagree, actually. Richard Sherman, I am told, actually pulled the parachute cord and stopped participating in J.C. Tretter's search process after sitting through 3 rounds of candidates. And the reason Richard Sherman left, I am told, was because he was sick of how J.C. Tretter was pushing candidates like Lloyd Howell. According to a source familiar with Sherman's thinking, quote, there was a rigid bias against internal union candidates, and candidates like Lloyd Howell kept getting leeway, even though they didn't seem that prepared and didn't seem to understand how the relationship between the NFL and the NFLPA works. Lloyd Howell was treated like a project boyfriend. We can fix him.
It's giving Larry Scott. What you guys, when you and Curtis were and covered when this story broke about Lloyd Howe. Why were they so insistent on leaning into Howell's leadership?
I don't think we spoke as to why they were leaning towards him, but it sounds like typical NFL business. That's my guy. I know this dude, right? If I'm going to make my way up, I'm going to bring him with me. That's how the NFL works. I mean, there are coaches in this league, there are executives in this league who are qualified, but there are also ones that are learning on the job and weren't qualified initially, and because they know somebody, they get an opportunity. That's what it sounds like here. And, despite what you think about Sherm, you like him or not, he's an intelligent dude, and he's going to shoot you straight. And it seems like he was right about the situation the whole time.
I can't wait to listen to the full episode's like an hour plus, and it just came out. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm very eager to find out more about kind of the internal ladder climbing that happened with Howell, and obviously we all know the fallout. We all know the ending of the story, but kind of how that really got going. All right, well, let's talk about another former Seahawk. Where does Russell Wilson's Mr. Unlimited video rank among his weirdest moments? WFAN's Boomer and Gio asked in Cut 16, would he take it back?
If you could go back in time and not hit post on Mr. Unlimited video, would you do it?
I would still do it, man. I got kids that unlimited,
I got it in person.
It's like, come on. But we're having fun, man.
I don't think he'd take it back either. I gotta be honest. I don't think Russell Wilson would undo any of the weird things he's done. I think he really just is like that.
Here's the thing about Russell Wilson. He is super successful. He's won a Super Bowl. He's made a lot of money. At one point, he was considered one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the game.
Married to
He has a beautiful wife, a beautiful family. Life is good for him. Like, when you are living so comfortably like he is, you do things that most people won't. And he's just a corny dude. So you lean in to exactly who you are. So, no, I believe him 100% that he would not take that down. He'd probably do it again. And he gave you the unlimited live on the air.
What are some of the, I'm saying weirdest in a way that's open for interpretation, but weirdest, most unique players you've ever covered? And it could be negative. Russell Wilson is one of them for me, where like what he was for Seattle is, in my opinion and many people's opinion, the best quarterback they've ever had. Oversaw the winningest stretch of play for Seattle, and yes, the defense was obviously at the center of that. Carroll was at the center of that, but Wilson was here too, and he was a big part of it, particularly when those guys left, and Wilson was kind of carrying the offense
all
for
by
a minute.
Himself.
But he was also not particularly well-liked. Like, he was respected, not particularly well-liked, not super personable, but really professional, and like it was a... It's just really weird, and then leaves with kind of like a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Like, it was such maybe the most unique person I've ever covered.
Everyone is brought up differently. And obviously, you are a product of your environment and your parents, your family, how you were brought up. So his family was they brought him up that way. It is what it is. And then you don't have to like somebody to work with somebody. You don't have to like somebody to have success with somebody. And I think that for the most part, the people out here lost a connection with Russell Wilson once he entered that level of elite quarterback. Because then you start to move a little different. You don't do some of the things you used to do. You don't connect with the people the same way you used to. But that's okay. He's still the greatest quarterback to come through this organization. So I couldn't see myself like kicking it with Russell Wilson on a daily. But that doesn't mean I don't respect who he is and what he's done for the city and the game.
His attention to detail was always like, in another life, he would have been on like in a Fortune 500 company or in PR or, like on Wall Street. You know what I mean? Just like a very, very, very...
He's corny corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. Anyway.
I've done business with guys like that.
Longtime sports TV host Dave Damashek shared a diabolical story of how he got to kick Bill Simmons out of his fantasy football league, Cut 27.
Many moons ago, I joined a fantasy football league, about a quarter century ago now. It's populated by noteworthy sports people like Bill Simmons and Cousin Sal and so on, and John Hamm. And Cousin Sal, maybe 20 years or so ago, came up with a diabolical plot that, much like Survivor, the champion gets to kick out someone of his choosing, but only at the draft. So it's not like you tell them in spring.
So you prepared for the draft?
You
and
go
you showed up?
all summer long. And then on the eve of the season, so it's too late to join another league. Simmons' tact has been for about 10 years to announce, like, I hope you kick me out. I don't want to be in the league anyway. It's dumb. I hate fantasy football.
I'm closing my eyes, and I feel like I'm right there.
Everyone was very scared. He's got juice, you know. I got a cameo. His favorite ball player, Bill Simmons, growing up was Fred Lynn of the Red Sox. So I got Fred Lynn on cameo to kick Simmons out of the league.
Adding the cameo is amazing. I love that rule.
Oh, man.
Getting kicked out of the league on draft day is a hilarious
That's
choice.
diabolical.
It's diabolical.
You better be in 2 other leagues just in case.
Oh, you got to have backups for sure.
Oh,
sure.
man. I would love just to be a fly on the wall and just experience the tense drama that's in that room, because everyone's looking at each other like, who is it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's my relationship with this guy? I think I need to enter a league where that happens.
I also, as a massive fan of Survivor, and Curtis, you can back me up on this one. We're big Survivor fans. I appreciate the gamesmanship of the advantage that comes with winning is also weakening the player pool you're playing the following year.
Right.
Like, I appreciate the gamesmanship of, I'm going to kick out someone who might have the best chance to beat me so that maybe I can repeat as champion.
Yeah, do you
That's
look
just-
at, like, their keepers, and it's like, that's a really good team. I could really use those keepers in the draft pool this year.
I kind of like the strategy here. You could have a dynasty. You just keep kicking out the other strong players.
I just wonder, though, like, you've kicked somebody out. Now, do you just play a team down? Like, how does that work? Does that roster get filled with another
Every
owner?
year you add someone,
They
maybe.
probably have. That would be great if they have the person they're adding just waiting there. Just
Yeah.
like, look, we're going to add Bob this year.
Yep.
One of y'all are going home.
And you don't, and the other players don't find out who else is in the league until that day, and they're like,
It's
okay,
like the Royal
so
Rumble.
Yeah.
You just, the 30-second countdown, everyone's like,
Yes.
who is it? And then, oh my
Yes.
gosh, it's Matt Damon.
Hey, I'd come running through that garage so quick.
Yes, you could have a whole entry.
Uh-huh.
The Seattle Seahawks are closing in on the preseason, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on Friday, August 15th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Don't go anywhere.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man.
How many did you have in your career?
3.
How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands.
Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey friends, Stacy here. Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles. Also, large discounts on their service and parts departments. What about those of you who want to sell a car? Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing plan is the best deal out there. They purchase your car and pay you right up front. Then, when Wayscar Ford resells your old car, they share 50% of their profit with you. They've already paid back over $800,000 to customers. At Wayscar Ford, there's absolutely no games, no gimmicks, and no pressure. That's backed up by a full 5-day or 500-mile no questions asked return policy on absolutely every vehicle they sell. Change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. So if you're like me, you want a good price, a low-key, no-pressure experience, and a full 5-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee, Wayscar Ford is the place to go. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com. Wayscarford.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Seattle home prices, well, they just keep going up, and you might be ready to take advantage. If you're getting ready to sell or just moved into a new home, now is the time to get a thorough inspection of your crawl space and attic. And don't do it yourself. You don't want to be crawling around in there. You probably don't even really know what to look for. It's Mike Salk here, and Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to, so you can know if there's anything going on in your crawl space or attic without having to crawl into and evaluate those spaces on your own. A free inspection will let you know if your home is energy efficient and if the air you're breathing is clean and safe. Plus, there are some really great utility rebates available right now to help you with the cost of the new insulation if it's needed. How nice would it be to get someone else to cover that cost? Had them out to my house, and it was a great idea. Did that free corner-to-corner inspection, found some issues. They took the pictures, showed them to me, and then solved the problem. No issues since. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Ken's Pool and Patio reminds parents swimming is a healthy outlet for kids if we remember to put safety first. Make sure your children are visible at all times by a lifeguard or responsible adult. Sign them up for swimming lessons and provide a flotation device for added safety. Always check swimming conditions in advance and remind your kids to never swim alone. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Ken's Pool and Patio, your family-owned full-service pool company, proudly serving you for over 50 years. Online at kenspool.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out, you essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Very quickly, Curtis is the reliever you mentioned earlier, David Bednar.
Yes.
From the Pirates? Okay. From Jeff Passan, Yankees finalizing a trade to acquire closer David Bednar. So potential trade target for the Mariners. If they It's not the Mariners. Potential trade target for the Mariners that we talked about earlier in the show. Now off the table, heading to New York. Still a really, really, really good trade deadline. We're happy with it, but I think that we're all kind of watching to see if they add another reliever. So.
Well, they got until, 3 o'clock?
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. All right.
So during Wyman and Bob, it'll be maybe some last-second kind of deals. But just a quick update there for you again from Jeff Passan. Yankees finalizing a trade to acquire Pirates' David Bednar, which was a potential target for the Mariners. We are going to be joined by Robbie Oots in a little bit. Fullback here in Seattle. Before we get to it, though, taking a look at NFC West quarterbacks. Forget ranking the teams. Forget any of the defenses or the wild cards that these teams. We're just looking at quarterbacks. Bump, I'm having a hard time figuring out a 1 through 4 that I feel really, really passionately about, because there are interesting pros and cons to each of these guys. The only thing I feel confident in saying is I have Matthew Stafford at number 1.
Yeah, Matthew number 1 for sure.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's been in the league the longest, has all the accolades. You think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Okay, he's got enough. Yeah, so 2, 3, and 4 are going to be tough. And this was inspired by something that you heard, Mina Kimes' podcast.
Yes, so 2 things. One was an article that ranked 1 through 4 and had Darnold at number 4. And then another was Mina Kimes' most recent episode of her podcast was an NFC West preview. And they briefly mentioned the quarterbacks and also how Darnold is potentially like the weakest of the 4. Though they think the division's really competitive, a ton of talent. I think they looked at it from the angle of like there's some good defenses here battling it out.
Yeah, the messed up part about ranking Darnold at number 4 is that he's coming off a career year last year. But they're doing that because they're basing it off of what they've seen over him throughout his career. If there's anybody that I think he's battling with for that number 4 spot, it's got to be Kyler Murray, right? Kyler Murray last year, 3,800 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. You compare him to what Sam Darnold did last year, 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. But they're saying that we just don't know about Sam Darnold. And it's hard to dispute that. I think that if we are going off of last year, he's not the second worst or the worst quarterback. He's probably the second best. But if we're projecting what we expect, that's where things start to switch a little bit. And I think people are projecting that Kyler Murray has a better year than last year. He's got some weapons. People are projecting that Matthew Stafford holds it down. We know that he's been consistent. And Brock Purdy plays better because last year Sam Darnold had a better season than him. Projecting and reflecting are 2 different things. Reflecting, Sam Darnold's number 2. If we're projecting, I can understand why he's at the 4th spot is because these other quarterbacks have Pro Bowl type years, multiple Pro Bowl type years.
Brock Purdy's really interesting because he's been the most consistent. And again, we're kind of excluding Stafford from this. Both of us had him at number 1. So of the remaining 3, has been the most consistent. There's a ton of familiarity where he knows Shanahan's offense. Shanahan knows him. Shanahan knows exactly what to expect. You're getting healthy weapons back. Christian McCaffrey's going to be back. I can't wait to preview week 1, by the way, and how they might utilize Christian McCaffrey in a slightly different way to kind of protect him and be aware of the toll that running the ball is going to take on him. That being said, Kyler has this really high ceiling that he's never tapped into, and he's kind of that guy that you can never fully keep out because of his potential. And again, he's never consistently been that guy. It's something Arizona fans talk about all the time.
Because you see the talent. I mean, he has 2 years where he threw single-digit interceptions, but both of those years, 1 year in 2022, he missed, 6 games, and then in 2023, he missed 11 games. That was an ACL year, I believe. But yeah, it's all projection, man. Let me grab one of these popsicles real quick. Thank you, sir. Put that there. But in all of the years that Kyler Murray has played in the NFL, he hasn't had a year like Sam Darnold's 1 year last year.
Yeah.
But you also see what he can do with his legs. 800 yards 1 year with 11 touchdowns, and last year 572 with 5 touchdowns. That's probably the deciding factor for me is that he's able to do just a bit more. And I got to see another year from Sam Darnold. I think it's fair and unfair at the same time because he put together a great year in Sam Darnold, and he should be respected, but he's got to do it one more time.
I think, again, I didn't rank Sam Darnold as number 1, so, maybe I'm being hypocritical here, but I agree with you. I think there's maybe not enough of a benefit of the doubt given to Darnold, or at least not enough intrigue given to Darnold. That's what it is. That's the right word. I think there's not enough intrigue around Sam Darnold's potential. He's a former number 3 overall pick. This is a quarterback group, excluding Stafford, with some question marks about, who is he really?
Right.
Kyler, Sam, and Brock Purdy are all facing questions about, can they be the guy?
Right.
Do you have to have enough talent around him? You know what I mean? All of them are facing those questions. I think people assume the book has been completely written on Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I mean, but how could you think that off of what you saw last year?
Because of what you've seen the years before.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the book deserves another edit. I mean, you got to give this year a chance because maybe he changes, right? You add a few chapters to that book because he taps into something that he's never tapped in before. He's just in a weird situation. He's in such a gray area, and that's why when we talk about this team and its potential, it always lies on Sam Darnold. I mean, we started with him. Defense has to play better. Offensive line has to be on point, but the biggest unknown is number 14.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'm not paying enough due respect to Brock Purdy, but I don't know that I had him at number 2. Maybe I should. Shame on me.
I got him at 2.
Yeah? So you have Stafford, Purdy, Kyler, Darnold?
Unfortunately. I just got to see it again from Sam.
Yeah, I think
he has the potential to be the number 2 quarterback in this division. He has the potential, I think, but we got to do it.
Someone said, did I just hear Bump do a drive-by popsicle grab?
I did.
Yes.
They're giving away free popsicles here, Karen, and
keeping everyone cool.
Your boy's taking one for sure.
Which is really nice, and so they were offering us one, but I like the idea of you walking by and just taking one from a child. But that's not what happened.
I got children, man. I don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a monster. But it is very warm out here at Seahawks practice.
I'm going to go get that fan in there in a second.
I know. Well, let's go get the fan.
Yeah.
Let's cool off for just a second here. When we get back, Robbie Utes is set to join us.
All together now.
Hey, Eugenio!
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
On a roll.
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline.
I thought, oh my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor?
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
I play basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk. a wireless company that actually stands for something.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are headed back home for a series against the Rangers tonight. This is a big one. Both teams 57-52. Mariners need to stay ahead here in the AL West, or else you're looking up at two teams in the division. Good news, Mariners sources confirm Geno Suarez will be in the lineup tonight. I'm sure Mariners fans will make him feel right at home. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. George Kirby on the mound. Pregame show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Mike Macdonald's making these guys work because practice is still underway 2 hours after it started. So y'all are going to have to wait on Robbie Oots. I'm watching him right now, and he's unfortunately still on the field. So instead, we'll take a look around the NFL. Here we go. We'll start with this one out of Seattle, obviously. Charles Cross underwent surgery to repair a dislocated finger. The expectation is he'll be ready for the season opener. So
that's a finger. It's a finger.
This is very get off my lawn bump.
We're
right
good.
now.
I dislocate my finger twice a year. Just pop it right back in. Boom, let's get going. Obviously, his was a bit more nasty than what mine does. But no, he'll be fine. It's a finger, man. You tape that thing up. It's going to jack up his grip a little bit for a while, but he'll be all right.
I got two stories on the Bengals here. Next up, one you mentioned earlier, Noah Fant has a new home. The former Seahawks tight end is signing with Cincinnati. You mentioned in 4-down territory you do like this fit for him, Wayne.
I like it, man, because it's a more wide-open offense. It's not going to be compact like the one here. He's not going to be asked to be the number one tight end either. You got Gesicki, who had, 665 and 2 touchdowns last year. You add another weapon for Joe Burrow. Now, sign Hendrickson. I think they should focus on that a little bit.
Look at that touchdown from Jackson. Speaking of Cincinnati, Joe Burrow spoke on the energy in Bengals camp now that everyone has reported cut 26.
It's exciting. Obviously we'll see when Sundays come around, but you can feel an energy in here that I'm not sure we've felt it in a while, and I think that's exciting. You don't know until the results come, but like I said, I'm very positive about the energy and morale that we have in the locker room right now and upstairs in the living room. Everything's been great.
My favorite thing about Joe Burrow is off the field, he actually has no energy. So hearing him in a very kind of cool, calm, collected energy level is 2 out of 10 go, Yeah, it's crazy. It's great to see the energy that we've got here in the building. So,
man, and sometimes you're so just mentally exhausted after a football practice, right?
I think he's just over it. I
Like,
don't think he likes speaking to reporters.
I'm trying to play. I'm just here to play football. Let's go get it. But yeah, sometimes after practice, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to come home and tell my girl, like, hey, just give me like 30 minutes. Just let me sit there and think of nothing, because I've been thinking about coverages and plays and formations for about 4 hours now.
Well, Sam Darnold's here in Seattle, and that means the Vikings have a new starter. We're going to cut 25. J.J. McCarthy asked how he's acclimating to be the starter in Minnesota.
I would sum it up to, just more and more comfortable in this system. Just attacking the process of the pre-snap, the cadences, knowing where everyone's at. And, something I really wanted to work on was just those layered balls and being able to find my touch again. And I feel like I made some significant strides with that part of my game. And, at the end of the day, I feel like we're getting 2% better every single day, and that's all that matters.
What are your expectations for JJ in Minnesota? He's a guy that in a really exciting young quarterback class was the only one not able to get out there. We thought that we wouldn't see anything from Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins is benched, so we do see kind of flashes of his talent in Atlanta. Bo Nix improves over the season. Right. Broncos get to the playoffs. You saw Drake May start out struggling in New England and then take a step forward, and JJ's kind of trying to catch up to this really exciting group.
Yeah, JJ's going to have his struggles. I mean, you don't know what you don't know as a rookie, but everything that I hear out of that camp is that he's going to be just fine, and he has an opportunity to contribute to one of the best draft classes we've seen in a very long time, as Drew Lock just throws an interception in the red zone. But no, I don't expect a Sam Darnold type of performance from him. That's not going to happen. But he'll be just fine just because of the coaching and the weapons he has over there.
You showed some love for Ken Walker a bit earlier in the show, and Zach Charbonnet. Madden 26 showing love, too. I thought this one was pretty cool. Ken Walker made it onto their top 10 running backs. Obviously, number one is Saquon Barkley. He's a 99 player. Derrick Henry, 2. Ken Walker comes in at number 10, 88.
That's surprising. It isn't, because we know the talent that he possesses. He's good for a big play. He's one of the more elusive running backs in the game. At one point, when he was healthy and doing his thing, some people compared him to Barry. Not saying he's Barry, but he showed some similarities. So it's good for him to get some love, especially coming off a year where, he probably felt like, and fans felt like he disappointed just a little bit. But when he's healthy and he's getting the rock and he's committed to the run and getting downhill, no denying, he's one of the best in the game.
You know what's so funny is we're watching the third team right now, and during the break, I said to you, I'm kind of waiting to see like that big moment from Jalen Milroe. He had a really good, like by far his best day of the offseason, like a week and a half ago, last Thursday. And it's not that he's looked bad. It's just the entire thing that we were always hearing about was like, oh, my God, this guy is a better runner than Lamar Jackson. You wouldn't believe the athleticism. He's got to grow as a passer. He's got to continue to develop, but, like, he's so unbelievably talented. And I said during the break, I'm kind of waiting for, like, a really cool moment. I would count his run just now as, like, fun. Not, like, thrilling, exciting, but, like, at least showcasing a bit of the mobility.
Yeah, we know he's mobile. Let's go through progressions. Let's hit
you
receivers.
You want to see, I want to see
him
really good day.
Just operate from the pocket. I mean, he could run whenever he wants to and pick up a few yards. I want to see him stand in the pocket, go through progressions when chaos is happening, and make a throw.
Fair. See, my thing is I hadn't seen him run in person at all. So I was looking forward to, what's that athleticism look like? How speedy, how elusive? Like, let me see it in person. You're absolutely right in terms of what we're looking for. What would you have to see from him? One or two things were in a practice where you'd go, okay.
Like right now, there was an incompletion to him to Arroyo, and Arroyo's probably about 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and he just bullets it in there. You don't got to take some off of that thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's just the little nuances, right? The touch football, the manipulation with his eyes, moving safeties, the timing of things. He's going to get there. You see the ability, but it takes reps on reps on reps.
Yeah, getting another shot right now.
It's good defensive play.
Yeah,
trying to hit Plumlee. So right now they're in the red zone, probably like on the 10-yard line. So this is where the field is squished a bit. Not a lot of room to work. He just missed Plumlee, a quarterback out of UCF who converted to a wideout on the goal line. But it was a good throw, better defensive play.
All right, well, while we were on the topic of Milroe, one quick observation from practice. But moving on, legendary sports broadcaster Brent Musburger will join NBC's booth for the second half of tonight's Hall of Fame game, which Bump will probably be watching.
Yep.
He's the recipient of the 2025 Pete Rozelle Radio Television Award and will be honored pre-game along with the 2025 Hall of Fame class.
Okay.
Nice.
All
Are you
right.
excited for the Hall of Fame? Are you actually going to watch it?
You know I'm going to watch it.
Like, for sure you're not just saying it because you're playing into a bit. Like, you're really going to watch.
No. This is NFL football. It's preseason, postseason, in-season, off-season, whatever. If they're running around and there's a football involved, I will be watching.
There's so many other things.
Like what? What's coming on tonight? Ain't nothing else on tonight.
Real Housewives of Orange County.
Well, you know I'm not
Project
watching that.
Runway premieres today.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a fantastic
Not my
show.
cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
We're only a month away from, or 2 months away from a new season of Survivor, which Curtis and I keep trying to get you to watch with us.
I watched a little bit of it. I just can't commit. I got to take kids to practice.
It's 2
Then when I
hours
get
a week.
home, I want to go to sleep. I got to prep for the show. I don't know how you guys find time to even watch that
You
stuff.
make time. You make time for things that you're passionate about. You know,
That is true.
You block out the schedule.
That's true. I'm just not passionate.
You put
about
in
that
the
yet.
work.
You put in the work.
Outwit, outlast, outplay. All day.
All day. You
It's
need to
not
be-
just a Survivor thing. That's an everyday thing.
That's every day. Literally every day, Curtis and I are surviving. Okay, Bump? Like, it's a
Okay.
battle right now.
Gotcha.
Like, right now, I'm uncomfortably warm. You know, but
Are
I'm
you?
fighting.
Are you?
Yeah, Bump. Okay, so Bump is sitting in the sun, and I am sitting in the shade. Yeah, sorry about that one.
That's all good. We take one for the team.
All right, let's do our last story quickly here. Hit break, and then when we come back, practice is wrapped. So when we come back, hopefully we can get Robbie here. Cam Ward is great at telling you exactly how he's feeling. He didn't hold back on where he thinks the Titans' offense is. Cut 28.
I just think we're very mid right now, from my position to up front to the receiver's position. But at the end of the day, it all starts with me. I just don't think we're at where we need to be. But we got a little bit of time, and so every day we get better as a whole. We're a young team, but that's no excuse. At the end of the day, we got to come with the right mindset every day and come to work.
Cam Ward, 99 level honesty.
Yeah, I like that. You scolded him the other day for that. But
I didn't scold him. I
You
said
slapped
I was
him on the wrist.
No,
You said, "No, Cam, no."
No, I didn't. I said if I was in the PR department, I'd be like, "Oop, ooh, careful, Cam." I mean, it's
but-
fun to hear as a consumer of media. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's interesting."
And what do you expect? You expect the Titans to be just nice right now? No, they're a mid organization. That's why they had the #1 pick. So, no, he's just being honest once again. I appreciate it. Go Cougs.
Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by The Landing in Renton. All right, practice is wrap. We're going to see if we can grab Seattle's newest fullback. Don't go anywhere.
All together now.
Hey, you Haney!
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
On a roll.
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline.
I thought, like, oh my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor?
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit. For just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1. So you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
The Davis Law Group Charity Golf Tournament heads to the Prospector Course in Suncadia on August 20th. Proceeds benefit Life Support I-90, funding life-saving training and equipment for the first responders on call every day, covering the thousands of travelers heading over the I-90 corridor east of Snoqualmie Pass through Cle Elum and the surrounding areas. Tee times and sponsor packages are limited, so sign up today at dlggolf.com. That's dlggolf.com, because the life you save could be your own.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Feeling the heat? Cool off with Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 25% on 2024 ACs and heat pumps during the final days of the warehouse clearance sale. Plus, PSC customers get AeroSeal duct sealing for as little as $99. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Seahawks Football Fest is back at Lumen Field, Saturday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. Kick off your weekend with this exclusive practice in an evening full of football, family, and fun. Meet Seahawks legends, Seahawks dancers, and Blitz. Check out the gaming zone, face painters, live music, and DJ, and don't miss the autographed football toss. There's entertainment for all ages. Get an inside look at your 2025 Seattle Seahawks at Football Fest. Get your tickets at Seahawks.com.
Oh, it is the time of the season for pests. That's right. No one likes them. No one knows where they come from, but we can all agree no one wants them in their house. Mike Salk here for Crawl Pros, and they have a full-service pest control division now called Pest Pros. They can come to your house and do a full corner-to-corner inspection, take care of any problems, just like they did at my home. This is the time of the year you'll start seeing more ants in and around your home. You may also begin hearing a little buzzing outdoors. Bees, wasps, hornets. If they make a nest on your property, that is a huge nuisance. So please don't try to take care of those nests on your own. Simply call Pest Pros to have any nest removed and destroyed professionally before the problem grows or you and your guest ends up getting stung. Pest Pros is the full-service pest control division of Crawl Pros with eco-friendly treatments to keep ants, stinging insects, and all sorts of critters from making their way into your home. If you're worried about rodents, ants, or other bugs or an issue in and around your home, call Pest Pros or visit GoPestPros.com to schedule a free inspection at GoPestPros.com.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out, you essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife Prostate.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Looks like running backs and fullbacks, players kind of meeting up with coaches quickly to break down a few things from practice. So Robbie Oots heading off the field in a moment. Before we get a hold of Robbie, and we're going to get to the Mariners in about 15 for Rowland-Smith. Before we get a hold of Robbie,
I see him.
I wanted to talk about just the importance of a fullback in this offense. It's been a minute since we've seen a dedicated fullback. What's that role going to look like here in Seattle?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Since I've seen number 40 in the backfield.
Robbie.
There he is.
Why are you adjusting your jersey?
No, he's taking the pads off.
Why are you taking the pads off?
No, it's important, man. It's when you want to be dominant in the run and compact formations, fullback is going to benefit you. It gets another hat on a big body, right? Typically, they are taking care of the ends on a split zone. They're getting to linebackers on leads, and sometimes they influence the misdirection as well. So, no, it's a very important position. That's why they drafted this young man, because they needed someone who does that for real.
Well, and it's, I mean, look, we talked about if you're going to talk about how you want to improve your run game and you want to be this really, dominant, powerful run team, then you got to back it up. And maybe you can critique them for not getting Will Fries. Again, they had their reasons.
Right.
But getting a fullback is part of that. And Seahawks fullback Robbie Oots joining us right now. Robbie, you've had a very busy day, long practice. Was this the longest practice of camp so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my God. Are you exhausted?
Yes. Very. Can't wait to get in this cold tub.
I know. How's it been so far? First NFL training camp, what's it been like?
Pretty cool. Every day just feels like a new experience for me. So just taking it one step at a time and, making the most of every little rep, every little minute I get.
They got you listed as a fullback, but you're like a fullback tight end, man. The way they're using you and you guys, is it fun playing in an offense to where you're kind of being used in multiple ways?
Very, very. I love it here.
Give me your thoughts on Clint Kubiak. I know you're limited in what you can say about the offense, so you can use specific words to describe him. You can just talk about the vibe, but tell us a bit about Clint Kubiak, the offense, and kind of what you've seen so far.
He's very confident in his scheme and, what he's known for and what he wants out of his players, and he sees a certain vision, and he's very good at communicating that with, all the young guys, vets, whatever it is. If he sees something that's not how he wants it, he'll let you know, and he'll keep coaching you till you get it right. So
honesty's
love
good.
that out of him.
Yeah.
When I was in college, every hooper thought he could play football, and every football player thought he could hoop. Something tells me you hooped in high school at some point. What's that game like as it stands right now? Can you go to the local 24-hour fitness and drop 12 real quick?
I think I fouled out of 80% of my high school games. I was like the enforcer. I'd go in there and hack people. But, on the boards, I was a beast.
And that kind of makes sense, too, because whenever I talk about fullback play, I compare it to rebounding. Like, you got to want to hit. You got to want to fill the gap. So would you agree with that? Yeah.
Who's your, I know, by now all your teammates, certainly your rookie teammates, even though you're still getting to know them, who's your starting five? You're obviously on it, but who else are you taking, your four others? And I'll go as a whole team. So you can take guys maybe you don't know very well, but you're like, I have a feeling he could hoop.
All right, so if I have to be in there, I wouldn't put myself in there.
But I'm putting you in there. You must.
If I'm in there, I'm probably putting myself at power forward.
Yep.
At center, I want someone big, but I want somebody that can also run the floors a little bit. I'll go Leo.
I was thinking
Yep. At 3, somebody kind of a 3-and-D type of guy. Makes me think maybe an outside backer, maybe like a Boye.
Okay.
And then, let's see, ball handling. You think Spoon has to be good at.
Right. You would think so.
I'd put Spoon and maybe, let's go Jay Mill.
Okay.
All right. That's a good starting 5. I'll take that. Yes,
sir.
What's your anticipation like for, I know you guys got a lot of ball left. You got the scrimmage coming up on Saturday. But what do you anticipate, coming up with that first preseason game against the Raiders?
Man, I don't know what to anticipate. Kind of like I was saying earlier, everything's just kind of a new experience for me. So I'm kind of treating every single day and every single practice like that preseason game, if you will. But, for that specific game, just go out there, just stick to my coaching, play my heart out, and, take whatever happens. Just leave it all out there.
What was it like when these guys called you and drafted you? Did you have an idea that the Seahawks were interested? What was that whole process like?
I had a little bit of an idea early on, but they kind of went dark on me about a week before.
Yeah.
And then they called me up, and they're like, surprise. They're like, we told you we're going to draft you. Here we are. So I was like, oh, man, let's do it. Let's go.
Has it been helpful to have someone Because I'm thinking if I'm going to a new place, it helps to at least know someone. And you have, obviously, Jalen. What's that been like?
Yeah. I mean, I have Jay Mill, and I have Amari Kite and Josh Jobe.
Yeah.
We all played at Bama together. So we got a good group of B-Sci-Fi here.
Make it a little easier.
Yeah. Just, helps having familiar faces. We can all talk and kind of compare what it's like here versus Bama and whatnot.
I've never been to a Bama game, but with your last name, I would assume whenever you did something, the crowd was like, ooh. Yeah, obviously, right? I can't wait for you to make a play here because the crowd is going to feed right into that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Were there players that you really admired growing up? I mean, regardless of position, but that you were like, man, I really appreciate this guy's style. Maybe anything you've tried to mimic?
Yeah. Growing up in Rock Hill, South Carolina, I watched a lot of Panther games. So Luke Kuechly and Greg Olson were kind of two guys that I always liked, and kind of how smart they were, how they had that sixth sense, you know, and just great guys off the field too. So I try to imitate that a little bit.
Yeah. How old were you in, I'm not doing math quick enough, 2015?
I would have been 13.
So were you regularly watching like that run to obviously a heartbreaking end? But we always have debates with listeners who will be like, you know, talking about Cam's MVP season, how it wasn't enough. You watched it. I mean, you were a fan. He was that offense. Like, he didn't have nearly as many weapons as people in hindsight try to give him credit for, right?
Oh, yeah.
God, unbelievable team.
You got any brothers and sisters?
I got one older sister.
Is she an athlete?
She was. She was a big swimmer.
Yeah.
I swam too.
Okay.
But she was really good. She could have.
She's a swimmer.
Yeah.
Swam.
Yeah, what stroke?
Probably freestyle. 100 meters was kind of my go-to.
Okay, I did flies and medleys.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I was too short to ever be, like, I could do it, like, technically sound, but I was too small to ever be really good.
Yeah.
You got to have the broad shoulders, long, like, it really is, like, Michael Phelps is, like, tailor-made in a lab to be a swimmer. Like, you just have to have a body type to really excel. Like, it was probably, I mean, you're big enough and have muscle, but it was probably the same thing where you got to be really narrow through the hips.
I swam good enough to jump off the diving board at the public pool. Like, it was like, you got to do the test. Bam, I was in there, and we're going. Got the wristband. I'm good to go. Just to know to do it, man. What's your downtime like? Like, what does Oots do when he's not here? I know you're gonna study film and then the playbook, but outside of football.
You can find me on a golf course.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go.
always on the golf course with buddies, with my dad, with my girl. She's trying to pick up golf, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's kind of my relaxation.
There's got to be some nice courses in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
My buddy lives in North Carolina. He's trying to get me out to Pinehurst soon, so I'm going to check that out. That's like initiation to the NFL. Like, you got to play golf. I didn't start playing golf until I was on the team in 2008, and Jordan Babineau got me in, so you're already ahead of the game. Yep.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned you were dying to hit the cold tub. You can finally go. We appreciate you taking the time, Robbie. You've been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, we are going to be joined coming up in a little bit talking baseball with Ryan Rowland-Smith. Don't go anywhere.
All together now.
Hey, Eugenio!
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
On a roll.
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes, indeed.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline.
I thought, like, oh, my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor?
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. If you have nothing to do this weekend or any weekend, hop on I-5, go north, get off exit 260. That's where you will find it. It's a great place to get away, to recharge, and get your mind right. I've done it. It's great. I also stayed in one of their comfortable rooms, a spacious, free Wi-Fi, and you might just get a view if you ask the right person. Also downstairs, they got great food, the steakhouse and cantina. You want to watch some baseball, maybe even Gino, go to Portis Bay Sports Bar, and that's where you can have a drink and just enjoy the vibes. Golfers, Loomis Trails Golf Course is close to 18 holes with water almost everywhere. Hit the ball straight. And this month they got a special promotion. You can win $10,000 every Saturday with a grand prize of $50,000. Have a great venue as well. If you want to book your tickets, go to silverreefcasino.com. Again, silverreefcasino.com. It's not a secret anymore.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at winning 4 tickets to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Kansas City Chiefs on August 15th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 30th through August 4th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Still the Blue Angels flying overhead at Seahawks training camp. We were talking with Robbie, had a lot of Seahawks takeaways. Apologies for the sound. It'll go away in a minute. Now we're talking Mariners with Ryan Rowland-Smith on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. As a reminder, our weekly visit with Ryan brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Ryan, heck of a trade there from the Mariners. I stared at that tweet from Jeff Passan, and I didn't think it was real at first. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I wasn't that weird like you were. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, I saw it, and then I was thinking to myself more and more. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to see who they gave up for this, and I was pleasantly surprised when I saw who they gave up, and then it kind of made a little bit more sense to me. I think because looking around, when you had some other options at third base that were starting to get thrown out there, especially from the Twins, from the Orioles. all of a sudden, I think Gino's value, even though he's really, really good, but how much you're going to have to give up for him was going to drop a little bit because he had some more controllable players who were in the mix as well. So I think that helped the Mariners. I think they kind of put this together, and then the D-backs kind of looked around and said, all right, this is kind of the best we can do, and the Mariners absolutely scored. This is a huge trade. The Mariners should be really, really proud of it. And I'm telling you, there's no, from this trade, there's no, hey, look, we have to have an explanation or like the fine print in regards to what the reason why for the trade. It's just straight up, nope, this is 2025. We're going to the playoffs. That's what we want to do, and this is how we're going to do it. There's just no, working around that period. And it's been a while since we've seen that, because usually there's trades that could be a lateral move or something that, makes sense for the next couple of years. Now, this is all about 2025. I love it. It's awesome. And if you're a fan of the Mariners right now, you should be really stoked.
Hey, Ryan, Stacy and I settled on expectations for us is win the AL West. What are expectations for you now?
Yeah, I think, 100%, I agree with you. AL West, absolutely. Offensively, I still feel like, I'm looking at this going, man, like, okay, the bullpen, is there something? Because when I spoke to you guys about this, when I said the bullpen, I was thinking maybe 2 arms as opposed to 1, which was going to be a bit of a factor. But I look at this and say, yeah, this is a situation where you can 100% win the West, especially too with the way the Astros are built. I know they've added a little bit, but they were beat up, and they'll beat up when they came to town, and it was just a matter of, okay, how do we chip away at this? So that's the expectation, and beyond this too, it's a situation where, look, we've talked about it, fans have talked about it a lot. There's been that banging on the drum for offense for, 2 years now? And now all of a sudden, it's like, well, here you go. I mean, offensively, 1 through 9 as a starting lineup, I don't think you can get, there's no, hey, you should have done this or that. No, this is it. This is as good as it gets right here. You just added, 38 home runs to the mix. A guy who, when we last saw Gino, was striking out over 30%. Now he's around 25, 26%. And his OPS is up at 900. So you really can't get better than this offensively. So you want offense? If you're a fan, you wanted it for 2 years, well, here it is. And so, 100%, I think, try and win the AL West. And then, obviously, the safety net will be the wild card.
We know Gino will be in the lineup tonight, but the lineup obviously not out yet for a 6:40 start. That being said, Ryan, what kind of options and flexibility does this give Dan?
I think, first of all, I'm curious as to where he's going to hit. Maybe I've missed that this morning when I was talking about where he's going to slot in the lineup. I think, too, just backpedaling a little bit as well, just with the 3 moves so far, you've got a situation where you have a Josh Naylor that, profiles more as a power hitter. Well, he's not that kind of hitter this year. So I think that when you have, a situation where you do have a switch hitter in Cal, you've got a righty in Randy Rosarina, righty in Gino, lefty in Josh Naylor. I'm curious how they're gonna roll this out. And, I mean, we'll see this afternoon how that lineup looks with Gino in it, where he sits. And the other thing is, too, on this, too, like, look, Randy was in a nice little rhythm hitting right behind Cal. And there's always, there's some stock in that, too. So I'm curious how they're going to position Gino, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they end up doing.
I'm just excited about the potential with this lineup, but I'm also like I'm just tapering my expectations initially, right? Because we know how baseball is, man. It's a streaky kind of sport. Like, is it fair for fans to show to the ballpark today and just expect greatness? Like, what's the filling out period going to be like to you?
Yeah, and that's exactly why I always go back to that boring old, hey, listen, lean heavily on your pitching, right? Because we've seen that. I mean, we saw that with the Yankees, like, going back to the month of April. We're looking at this going, man, they cannot be stopped. The offense is absolutely carrying this team with the Yankees, and all of a sudden, next time we see them, you're looking up at the scoreboard at some of the numbers, like, whoa, they've simmered down big time, and they went through these crazy stretches. So offense, you have to heat up at certain times. I just know this, that a situation where you have these lulls, right, where the offense, as a fan, if you're expecting to come out and put up 10 runs tonight because you got Gino Suarez, well, no, that's not going to happen. But I think those games that we see where all of a sudden you get a little bit overmatched, like we saw last night against Springs, it's going to be much tougher to do that consistently in regards to a team or, a pitcher, shutting you down and just giving up the one run and everything goes dead. It's going to be really, really tough to do if you're coming into town to face the Mariners as a starting pitcher, just because of the lineup, because you add that extra piece where, man, all of a sudden you start getting into 2-0, 2-1 counts because you're pitching away from damaged spots, right? So I think that's going to be the biggest difference is where these lulls where the Mariners will get shut out 2 nights in a row, score a run over a 3-game stretch. I think that's going to be a few and far between offensively. But again, still, I'll say this even with Gino in the lineup. This team will get to October depending on what this rotation, which they're very capable of doing, what this rotation does. They're very capable to carry this team on their back. And I think that's still going to be the X factor if they get to October.
Leaning into that final point and looking at the rotation, I get this feeling with a lot of people. It's like, on paper, great. On paper, Logan's healthy. On paper, George is healthy. On paper, you could get Miller back, and all this is great. But I think that among folks who are watching the team closely, there's a little bit of an apprehension about you're kind of watching for certain things. So what's your lingering question mark or kind of the thing you're watching for with this group? And if there is kind of this angle of where's the positive momentum? Where's the growth opportunity?
Yeah, I think a couple things on that. Number one, you will see, if they going back to what we originally spoke about, if you're going all in on 2025, you're going to see Logan Evans get skipped, right? Or you're going to see someone having to say, hey, look, we've got the off day, but guess what? We need you to pitch just with the four days off. The other thing is, too, guys are going to have shorter leashes, right? Caleb Ferguson helps out with that, too. I know it's another lefty, but now all of a sudden you have a situation where you can, for example, right, you saw Logan Gilbert the other night in Anaheim when I know it was only the 5th inning, but he was pushing, he was pushed up against the wall, and he was trying to finish that inning. You could see the wheels are starting to come off. Well, if you have a little bit more of that bullpen flexibility, which they do, or you are in a situation where now Dan Wilson's you're pressing that button to say, no, we have to, every win is absolute, because we are 5 games back, but every win is absolutely crucial. And we do have that extra piece in the bullpen in Caleb Ferguson, who, by the way, can get multiple innings, get soft contact. Well, guess what? We're going to have to stretch the bullpen out here a little bit as well. And so you're going to have to mix up that who carries what load. And so you're going to see a little bit of that. Now, again, if something happens here and you get, someone catches fire or you get another piece in the deadline in regards to another bullpen arm or whatever it may be, fair enough. But as of right now, you're going to see the way it shapes out is the leash is going to be way shorter. If Bryce Miller comes back and there's any kind of inkling of not being at his best, that leash is going to be really, really short. So, there's going to be some of these things to look at. And again, this is going back to this trade. It is just straight, 2025, we're going, all our eggs in this basket, off we go. And that's going to affect how they pitch this and how they use their guys getting to October.
Ryan, kind of checking out a few more things here when it comes to the bullpen. We've seen some other arms get moved. I know the Yankees got Bednar, and we began the show by talking about potential targets. The deadline is quick moving, so maybe this name isn't available, but is there a name that you had been watching, kind of wondering, or even a team with some relievers that you've been watching that we can keep an eye on in the final couple hours here until the deadline?
Yeah, one team, the Guardians all of a sudden, I don't know if they're willing to go out and just say, yep, all right, off you go, whether it be Cade Smith, for example. They got a couple other pieces, for example, Paul Sewell just basically he got traded to the Tigers. And so they're looking at this going, okay, are we just going to kind of skim around the edges or are we going all in a straight reboot? Cade Smith, man, I would love to see a Cade Smith. Oh, my God. I love watching him pitch. I mean, Bednar was taken off the table. He would have been great, obviously, because he's really picked it up this year. The Twins are willing to give up Duran, so there could be a couple more moves. They got a nice bullpen. There's a couple pieces there. So teams are getting really sort of pushing dudes out the door more often, more so just all of a sudden lately. So it's a really good sign. So I'm hoping, something starts to move. Obviously, you got some competition out there, and it may be tougher than we think to grab that bullpen arm. Like, it's not going to be automatic. Oh, we need another bullpen arm. Here it is, because you're starting to see Yankees, the Dodgers, the Tigers. Even I'll throw the Rangers in there as well. Some of these teams, man, they're going to be pushing hard to try and get some of these guys.
Have you seen the division this down all at once? I mean, it seems like everyone's on an even playing field, and talent-wise, it feels like the Mariners just kind of took a jump. Could you go back in that memory bank and remember a time where it was as wide open as it is now?
From a post-playing career, not really.
Yeah.
Ever since I got into it, watching these teams, being, connected to the AL West, it's always, it's going to be in the Astros show. And then you've had like, oh, hey, look, the Angels are going hard here with a Trout, Ohtani, and all of a sudden they're grabbing starting pitching. Or, obviously the Rangers win the World Series. And so it's always been like, okay, here comes Mariners kind of like in that middle range. And then you've got this one team or that team just going hard here. So not really, to be honest with you. Look, back in the day, I remember it was, the Angels just had a chokehold on the AL West when I was playing. I remember that, and everyone else had to kind of figure it out around it. But they were the most balanced team. But it's always been the Astros this way, but I really haven't. And that's why this year, man, 2025, you just don't want to squander it. And I'm not saying squander any part of your team, for example. I'm not saying squander the fact that they went out and got, Suarez and they went all in, or the starting pitching last year. I'm just saying in general, this is an opportunity here where it's like, okay, you add this, you add that. You got really good offense right now. The pitching can pick it up. Man, it's yours for the taking. You don't want to look back and go, man, this was the opportunity. Because, look, these teams are going to reload, next year after, whatever it may be. But this is a really big opportunity for them.
It feels like there's also a massive opportunity with this series against the Rangers. Again, same record. I was just chatting with someone who said, man, it feels like this is your real opportunity because you don't want to focus too much on one series in a long season, but you kind of got this big uphill battle. Like, you put yourself in a hole despite all this really fun momentum. And then if you take the series, it's like you're on cloud 9 after the trade deadline and then, kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, I did save you some time here. So not like a full series preview, but just how important is this series and where's the advantage for Seattle here?
I think more so importantly, you lose a game in Oakland like they did. Then you find out Gino's coming back. It's obviously some more emotion involved with Cal Raleigh, J.P. Crawford. Some of these players to say, man, all right, this front office is willing to stick their neck out and do what it takes for this year right now, as opposed to trying to justify a move 3 years from now. So there's a little bit of that emotional momentum where you're like, okay, that's a big deal. So you want to come out of this and be like, and take 3 or 4 and feel really good about carrying this momentum. Because, look, as a player, too, let's not forget, this is great. We've got Gino. Now it's like, oh, well, you've basically given us everything we need. Now it's on us. So you feel that pressure. You really do. So it's going to be an interesting series. But, man, you do want to carry on some of that momentum from the fact that you are now a team, which people are talking about, setting you at a different standard, and your front office is giving you everything you need.
He's Ryan Rowland-Smith, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Big series today against the Rangers. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, lost in all the trade commotion. The Mariners did drop 2 of 3 to the A's after their 5-4 loss on Wednesday. What's the real headline?
I honestly couldn't tell you how that game ended. I saw the trade announcement from Passan, and I just blacked out.
Just locked in.
I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I hear that the Mariners lose, but I couldn't tell you more than that.
No, I was keeping an eye on it, and then the trade went down, and I was just verifying my sources and making sure that this was correct. And I'm not going to send out a tweet that people are going to laugh at or something like that. But, in all the commotion that was going on, the Mariners did drop 2 out of 3. Wasn't the greatest road trip, but now they're coming home and they take on the Rangers with some positive, some good vibes going on as well. It feels like you hit like a reset on the season. Like, you're 5 games behind the Astros, but this organization seems rejuvenated. The fans seem rejuvenated. The text lines are loving it. It's going to be great tonight at the T-Mobile.
I think if there was let's say they hadn't traded for Gino, right? And so you're heading in going, what was my takeaway from the game? I think it's one that we've had a million times with this team this year, which is, hey, if Cal's not breaking or on or driving runners in or, getting runs himself or whatever, the other hitters on this team, they might have a good day, Julio could have a good day or Randy could have one. Obviously his 20th stolen base in this series, but it's just not quite enough. They sometimes are just streaky as a team. And so I think acquiring Gino just kind of made that thought completely leave my mind, because I was like, well, God, offense can be inherently streaky with baseball, but when you've got that many guys, it's going to be rare for them to all be off at the same time.
Yeah, it's just more help. Help is on the way. Help was on the way last night after the game when Gino hopped into the plane with the team, with his family. Everyone cheered. It was a family affair, man, and there's just so much firepower in this lineup now. You're right. One person doesn't have to just bear the responsibility of being the guy every single night. And we're starting to see Julio kind of turn the corner right now. Randy ended the All-Star break on a hot note. He's back. So you got 5 legit All-Stars. You said more than the Yankees?
They have 6 All-Stars.
6 All-Stars? Goodness gracious. More than the dang Yanks. Let's win some games.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2. The 2 best relievers are off the market, with the Padres landing former A's closer Mason Miller. And the Phillies got Joan Duran from the Twins yesterday. What's the real headline?
As someone who once received an A++ on an assignment, let me tell you how the Mariners can get that grade at the deadline.
Yeah, by getting another arm, right? But we'll see. They have, a little over a couple of hours before the trade deadline, and I'm sure those guys are working. That's what makes the Gino signing even more special, is because you didn't give up a lot. You still have some prospect and some equity that you can use to go get this arm. So how much more aggressive are they going to be? Look, again, I will tip my cap to Jerry DiPolo. He did his thing. He was moving in silence. He wasn't listening to us complain and whine about what he is and isn't doing. The last two deadlines, he's been great. He can be even more greater if he gets an arm.
I think there's also room here, and again, I'm going away from the bullpen for this conversation, but sticking with pitching, there is room here for players we know are very good to take another step forward, right?
Yeah.
Part of what we talked about with Rowland-Smith is on paper, Logan Gilbert's healthy, George Kirby is healthy, Luis Castillo's healthy, Woo's healthy, Miller could be coming back. That's the same group you had last year, and they were the best in baseball. It just hasn't been that way this year. But that being said, it's not like you've got guys playing through serious injuries or whatever. It's just not quite been totally their season in the same way. I think there is a world where that play improves, and where, a guy like Kirby, who had a late start, settles in even more, or where, importantly, you have the offense to be able to back up not being quite as dominant with pitching.
That's why it's a team sport, right? When one side or one aspect of the game struggles, you need someone else to step up and help these guys out, and hopefully that's what's provided with this signing. But how else can you help this team? You go ahead and sign another arm, man, because if anything, the bullpen's been a little shaky and the rotation has been shaky at times. But it's all about getting hot at the right time. And right now, I would say is a perfect time to go on that summer run and get everybody excited again.
Not to make it a Seahawks point, but one thing I kind of like about what the Mariners did is investing in something that was already working for them. You know what I mean? So I think a natural approach to the deadline, in addition to a team that's being we're buyers and sellers, is, hey, we want to make a well-rounded team. And if our offense is good, well, let's add some bullpen help. Or if our pitching is great, let's maybe add some offense. I kind of like that the Mariners were yeah, we've got the home run leader and Randy and Julio, but we're going to add 2 more bats. I like the idea of let's just make something elite, and it kind of reminded me of what the Seahawks did with their defense this offseason, being you know what? Let's throw some money at this already really good group.
If something is good, why not invest and make them great? And I think that's what this group potentially has. And I can't wait to go home, because this morning, obviously, I can't read all I want to on the road or whatnot, but I can't wait to go home.
You're not stuck in traffic enough.
I know, right? I could have actually. I can't wait to go home and just dive even deeper into what the outside thinks about this move. I mean, I listened to Buster Only this morning. He says the Mariners were the most aggressive team at the trade deadline. I just want to know what people project from this team now, because obviously here, us watching, our expectations have changed. What's the nation thinking about this team, and do they consider them just divisional contenders, or do they feel like they can make some noise in the playoffs?
What's next?
Headline Rewrite.
Oh, I forgot to ask if you guys had ever received an A++ on an assignment.
Probably not. I don't remember.
That's crazy.
No, I can't say that I have.
Matt?
Do you think the teacher actually gave you an A++, or did they just say that to get you to stop asking about your grades?
I have photo evidence. It was A++ written on the project.
Yeah, photo evidence. I want to see that.
I'll find it.
No, but I'm saying, is A++ a real grade, or did the teacher think, oh, you know what? This will do it?
Like, she could really use this.
Yeah, she could use
She
a
could
win.
use the confidence boost. No, I think it was like, I mean, it's 5th grade, you know? So I think it's the same way that you give people stars. Like, A++ isn't like a real grade, but, you know.
I think
neither
you had
is
a really nice
4.2.
teacher back then.
Well, I think I was a really great student.
I think you had a really nice teacher back
Curtis,
then.
why don't you
what's
read the headline?
The NFL's Hall of Fame game is between the Chargers and Lions. It kicks off tonight at 5 on NBC. What's the real headline?
Seek help if you're watching this. Bump.
I will be watching, and I'll be watching with intent.
You can't even defend yourself.
It's not just going to be on in the background.
That's wild.
I'm watching scheme.
No, you're
I'm
not.
looking at
No,
players.
you're not.
I'm watching like I'm watching a game.
Taking notes?
You know how I watch games, too, is this is what I do. First thing I do is I look at the formation of the offense. Then I find the safe to see single high or two high. Then I look at the box to see, all right, are they playing a 3-4 over or under? Like, are they playing bear? Like, I'm going to go through my process watching this game, or 4-3, I should say, watching this game like I do any other season game, in-season game, because I got to get my mind right. I got to prepare. I got to get ready for this. This is my preseason too.
I'm going to quiz you on this game when the show starts, because I can't tell if this is a bit. I'm like, there's no way.
It's
There's
real.
no way.
I'm watching that, man. And I'm looking for all their draft picks. I want to check in on them, looking at their undrafted guys, who's been killing in camp. This is serious, guys. Don't play with this game, okay?
The 360 is saying they've received an A++ on a project before as well. It was an assignment that was graded on a curve. Maybe for you.
Kudos to the 5th grade motivator, says 206.
Yeah. I was a 5th grade motivator. That was honestly my best year.
Your best year?
Like, academically, personally.
Personally? Never.
No, not personally, but I have good memories of 5th grade, you know? Life was good.
Thank you, man.
Well, enough about me. We need to talk about more important things. We're going to have Tim Booth joining us at 1:30. Really excited to get Tim on. It's been fun to get the firsthand experiences from the reporters that were there when this trade was made. Shannon was on with Brock and Salk this morning talking about the scene on the plane. I want to hear about the clubhouse. Tim Booth was there, so we're going to ask him coming up at 1:30. Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man.
How many did you have in your career?
3.
How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands.
Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Summer is here, and now's the time to break through those weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and we have a proven system that can help you lose weight and get healthy. No drugs, no side effects, no calorie counting, no exercise. Just teaching you the simple steps to become a fat-burning machine and keep it off long term. Remove the stress of trying to do this on your own and picture being down 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days with our help. At Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, we know the secret for fast and lasting weight loss using real healthy foods and lifestyle changes. Schedule your free consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Yeah, look your best this summer. Even with a busy schedule and vacation, the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic plan isn't going to cause much disruption. Don't wait or put it off because you're busy. Lose weight during this summer and watch that transformation really happen for you.
Join the thousands of people who've lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. You can do our program in person in Kirkland or all remotely. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are headed back home for a series against the Rangers tonight. This is a big one. Both teams 57-52. M's need to stay ahead here in the AL West, or else you're looking up at 2 teams in the division. The good news, Mariners sources confirm Gino Suarez will be in the lineup tonight. I'm sure Mariners fans will make him feel right at home. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. George Kirby on the mound. Pregame show starts at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, Bump and I have moved inside where it's much cooler.
Oh, my God.
Our coverage of Seahawks training. Thank you for your sacrifice. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. I did get a Seahawks one in here, but I'm going to go Mariners for the first couple. Gino Suarez will be in the lineup tonight for the Seattle Mariners. We heard a really cool story from Shannon about Gino surprising players on the plane on the way back.
I already know what you're going to ask.
I think that he's going to make his announcement even louder. Gino goes yard tonight.
I knew it. How can I say no to that? I'm on that train. That's why they brought him here. Go yard. Do your job, Gino. Let's go, baby. I mean, if it doesn't happen today, don't worry about it. Just, get comfortable, get acclimated. But this is why you are here. Help this squad ASAP. The vibes will be good. I'm excited for this game.
I think that T-Mobile would lose its collective mind.
Oh, yeah.
People would lose their minds just with the hype and the excitement of the trade, right? Curtis, Gino goes yard tonight. Bump is boarding. Are you? Or are you a hater?
Am I a hater? Not today. Gino, he hits a home run tonight. We're boarding that train. It's going to go into the top deck out in left field.
You always try to add a specific layer.
Well, because if it happens, then it's even more impressive than just simply saying it's a home run. So, yeah.
It's going to be the bottom of the fourth.
Sure, bottom of the fourth. Yeah, I think that's a good inning for it. And it'll be a 3-run shot. So you heard it here first. That's what's going to happen. But, yeah, it's going to be an absolute scene, as they call it, when Gino Suarez hits the field for the first time today. Not a dry eye in that building.
Now, I know that sometimes when we do this, we go with this is a feel-good story, so let's go ahead and say it. I think with the case of Gino and also with Cal, it's always fair to say they're going to hit a home run that night.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like just kind of like, yeah, sure, the vibes are great, let's do this, but why wouldn't he? Why couldn't he? Absolutely. He's got almost 40 on the season, and Cal has 41. Maybe Gino and Cal hit a home run tonight. On board that train. But that's not the one that we have coming up next. Next Hype Train. Cal Raleigh and Gino Suarez both finished the season with 50-plus home runs.
Whoa. That's a big ask. If they do that, they better be in the dang playoffs. And I expect them to be in the playoffs. I expect them to compete for the division, possibly win the division. That's the goal. So let's get crazy on this Thursday and board that train.
Curtis, Cal and Gino both finished the season with at least 50 home runs. Bump is boarding. Are you keeping the good vibes going?
Cal just needs 9 for 50.
That's crazy.
Gino needs, 14?
July 31st.
Yeah, he needs 14 for 50. But you know what? Those two guys, they get on so many heaters. I see it happening for both those guys. Yeah, we're boarding that train. Both hit at least 50 home runs, becoming the first pair of teammates to do that since Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris all the way back in 1961. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's going to happen. It still kind of boggles the mind that Gino Suarez is back. I won't believe it until I see it. But, yeah, this 2025 Mariners team, a pair of 50 home run hitters.
I think it boggles the mind that that's the last time to have a pair. It's not that feat isn't like insanely impressive or very, very rare. It's that we can all think of teams that were just a bunch of, like there have been like crazy Yankees lineups. The Twins for a minute there had a ton of home runs. Like there have just been lineups where you think like, how did that lineup not have 2 guys hit 50 bombs? All right. And yes, I'm going to board this train.
Don't forget.
All right, next up. The Mariners make at least one more trade before the 3 p.m. deadline.
Oh, man, you got about 2 hours left, and you have a lot of assets. And I think they want to continue. I think they're like, look, let's shock the world. Let's shock our fan base and go ahead and add 2 of the best bats and an arm. But we're not done yet. We got work to do. I think Jared Dipoto is in his flow state right now. Everything's working out for him, and he's going to go and make another move on boarding that train.
Next up. Oh, not next up. Sorry. The Mariners make at least one more trade before the 3 p.m. deadline. Bump is boarding. This has been a very busy station today. Curtis, are you boarding?
I think they get one more deal in before the deadline. I don't know if it's going to be an earth-shaking one like last night with Gino. I think maybe they get another relief pitcher. But yes, we'll board that train. I don't think, though, it's going to be a huge one. But I think they get one more.
I think this is the first one I'm not boarding. It's not because they shouldn't. And it's not even because I'm, like, convinced that they won't. I think it's just that prior to a flurry of moves today, it had been a relatively quiet deadline. It's a seller's market. It was something people were complaining about, that it's just like, God, there's really not a lot of options here. And so many of those arms were already moved earlier today. So I don't know. I really, really want it to be the case that they continue to add, but there's not a lot of time.
You guys want an annoying trade that just went down?
Yeah.
The Astros have reacquired Carlos Correa from the Minnesota Twins.
I remember there were rumors of that one the other day.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like people stopped booing him, but the boos ratchet up now.
Have intensified. All right, let's get to Seahawks with our next hype train here. Everyone loves the star of the preseason. Rarely is it the star of the season. So I just made a random pick. Tell me if you're boarding this train. Fan favorite, Jake Bobo, will be the star of the Seahawks preseason.
He's going to get some burn, that's for sure. We interviewed him yesterday, and he said, yeah, he's a veteran, third year in, but he knows that he has to compete to make this ball club. But I don't think it's going to be him. It's going to be the guy throwing him the football. It's going to be Jalen Milroe. He's going to have a play or two that just excites you, it gets you going, and he's going to build off of that and continue to ball out. I'm not on this train because I'm going Milroe.
Okay. Jake Bobo will be the star of the preseason. Bump not boarding. He's going to go with Milroe for this one. Curtis, are you boarding? It would be Jake Bobo.
Yeah, that is a good one, Bump. If you hadn't taken Milroe, I think I would have here. I'm not taking Jake Bobo because I feel like preseason darlings are kind of like a flash in the pan. They're like a one-year thing. And Bobo already had his turn as the preseason darling. So It's got to be somebody else. I'm going to go with one of the Seahawks draft picks this year. He was a 7th rounder. I'm going Damian Martinez out of Miami and Oregon State. I think that's somebody who's going to have a good preseason. He's going to be a fun one to watch. So that's somebody who I've got my eye on. So I'm not boarding. Jake Bobo, you've already had your turn.
I think Jake Bobo is going to be a star in that he's a fan favorite when he gets touchdowns or receptions. Like, fans just really, really love him. We talked to him the other day. He's very lovable. I'm going to go with someone like Damian Martinez. Like, I'm going to go with, I think they're going to really want to.
Curtis, isn't that yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're on the same train as Curtis?
Yeah, I'm also on that Damian Martinez train.
All right.
All right, let's do next and last year. This is very bold. In fact, I shouldn't even make it a hype train. We should just have it as a segment on another day. Mariners and Seahawks will both win the West this year.
You know what? Nah, I don't think the Seahawks will win their division. I think the Mariners win theirs. So we go 1 for 2, but I can't board this one. I also think finishing behind the Rams at number 2 is good enough to get into the playoffs, though.
The Mariners and Seahawks win the West this year. Bump doesn't believe. Curtis, do you?
It's wild at this point of the year where it's like, I think it's more likely the Mariners win their division than the Seahawks do.
Very weird.
I am going to... I'm not going to board. I think only the Mariners have a decent shot at winning the West, so I'm not boarding this train. Would love to say they would, but can't do it right now.
I'm going to board recklessly, based only on feeling and vibes and energy. But we need someone aboard this train, even if they might end up being wrong. So I'll go ahead and board it, just so we can bookmark it. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by The Landing in Renton, 4-down territory, coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man.
How many did you have in your career?
3.
How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands.
Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
The American Band, the legendary Grand Funk Railroad, is rolling into Muckleshoot Event Center Wednesday, August 6th with special guest Jefferson Starship. Don't miss this night of classic rock that defined a generation. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Grand Funk Railroad with special guest Jefferson Starship. Only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin.
Terrific. Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow.
With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
10-time MLB All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, MLB single-season hit leader, a one-of-a-kind player.
And there it is! He's a new all-time hit king in Major League history, number 258.
Head to T-Mobile Park in August as the Mariners celebrate Ichiro's induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. The festivities kick off with a 3-day Ichiro Hall of Fame Funko Pop giveaway, Tuesday, August 5th through Thursday, August 7th. On Friday, August 8th, arrive early to score a 2004 Ichiro jersey like the one he wore when he broke the MLB single-season hit record. Saturday, August 9th, will feature Ichiro's pregame number retirement ceremony, and the first 20,000 fans on Sunday the 10th will take home a replica of his Cooperstown plaque. It's going to be legendary.
On a tremendous throw by Ichiro. He threw something out of Star Wars.
Get your tickets at mariners.com/Ichiro.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. Was Harbaugh right in his assessment of Lamar Jackson?
So he said he has the best quarterback in the game. And some people are like, nah, it's Pat Mahomes. Nah, it's Joe Burrow. Nah, it's Josh Allen. And, last year he had a 119.3 passer rating, best in the game, 41 touchdowns, second behind Joe Burrow, only 4 interceptions. In his career, he has the second best touchdown to interception ratio. Also, he rushed for 900 yards last year. He's rushed for 1,000 a couple times, I believe. He has a case. If I were to build a football team right now, I'm drafting Lamar Jackson as my quarterback. And I know some people might think I'm crazy, but the way that I want to run the ball, the way that I want to run an offense, Lamar Jackson is the perfect quarterback for that, especially with the way he's been throwing the ball lately. He's gotten away from he's just a running quarterback. He can run, yes, that's for sure, but he can throw the football as well. I think I still lean towards Patrick Mahomes as the best in the game, though, especially with all the accolades that he has. But I'm not mad at Harbaugh for gassing this guy up and making sure people recognize who he is.
There's also just such a cool collection of quarterback talent at the very top. And honestly, you could put Joe Burrow in there. I know that there are a lot of people that would want to put Herbert in there. I would want to see him just accomplish a little bit more, but he's undeniably talented. But, yes, Patrick Mahomes, number one. But I also think it's completely fair for someone to look at Allen or Jackson and go man, this guy is really good. Both outperformed Mahomes this past year.
Speaking of quarterback rankings,
yes,
I'm driving in to work listening to ESPN radio, and Mike Tannenbaum ranked his NFC quarterbacks. Guess who he had at number 1?
Can I get 3 guesses?
Sure.
Stafford.
No.
Hurts.
No.
Oh, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, baby.
I realized it as I started saying Jalen Hurts. I was like, I know why Bump is bringing this up.
Come on, man. People are, hey, don't take my take, though, Mike Tannenbaum. Let me have that.
Second down. What have you seen from Zach Charbonnet that you love?
So we were out there watching practice, and they had RBs against LBs and safeties, one-on-ones. And I was impressed with just the way that he moves defenders. A lot of running backs, they're just going to try to run by you. They're going to say, look, I'm fast. I'm going to run by you. No, Zach Charbonnet understands I got to set you up and move you. And once I get you to a spot, I'm going to be violent with my indicator. Indicator is when you put your foot down violently and show the quarterback where you're releasing, where you're going. It was fun to watch. Ken Walker looked good running routes as well. And Damian Martinez didn't look like a chump. But Zach Charbonnet, if you put him in a smaller number and smaller pads, he could resemble a little slot receiver out there. I was just impressed with his knowledge when it comes to route running. A lot of people think it's just running fast and getting to your depth and turning around. No, man, defenders are smart. They're going to take things away. He understood that, and it was fun to watch him do it.
Can I toss an extra question that you didn't write down on top of this,
Sure.
but I think it's going to be easy. If you had to describe not just Charbonnet in one word, Walker in one word, but in ways that kind of exemplify this is how they're different. This is what I like about them. So one word for each.
Ken Walker would be explosive, and Zach Charbonnet would be violent.
Great. Those are 2 great words for running backs. Third down. What move made by a team might go under the radar, but could get a great return?
So we heard John Schneider talk about Noah Fant and why he was let go. really because they were paying too much and not getting the production that they needed out of him. And going into the season, Kubiak is looking at his attributes and thinking he probably doesn't fit what I need out of a tight end. I can get that out of A.J. Barner. I can teach Arroyo to do it, and Saubert is here as well. So now he is with, it sounds like, at least this morning, it sounds like he was going to the Bengals, and I think that is a perfect spot for him because that offense is more wide open. He's not going to be asked to be as violent in the run game as they are going to be here. He still has to block. He's a tight end. Like, it is what it is. But and he can be the number 2 tight end over there. Gesicki had 665 and 2 touchdowns last year. You're going to get 400 out of him, which you've gotten out of him over here. I think 500 was his best year. And he'll be fine. That just shows you how the NFL operates. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And he says, the Bengals say, look, we got him. We like what he does. He can fit this offense. He can run routes. Run after the catch is good. I'm just happy that he found a home. There was no I didn't question if he was going to find a home or not. I think he's a good tight end in this league. It just didn't fit. It didn't work out here. So, yeah, good for Noah Fant. And I think the Bengals are going to use him properly and get exactly what they want out of him according to his contract.
If the Bengals had like an elite offensive line, that offense.
Yeah.
I was looking at the most points per game in NFL history. 1950 Rams with the most, but 2013 Broncos 37-9, which is still a crazy number to this day. Like, the best teams in football each year are going to get like maybe 30, 31, 32. Like, that's an elite offense. 37 is crazy.
Crazy.
But I'm telling you that the Bengals playmakers, skill position players, and quarterback, like, give them the Eagles O-line, and you're like, they're dropping 40.
Man, easy 40.
Easy. Fourth down. Anything stand out from Mike Macdonald's interview this morning with Brock and Salk?
Oh, man, he said a lot of good stuff, but one of the things that stuck out to me, and we talked about it kind of already, I'm switching it up from the last 4-down territory, was that, he's still being coached up himself. And, yeah, he's 37 years of age, maybe 38 by now, and it's his second year as a head coach in this league, and he talked about the ways that he's being coached up. He's watching film from his meetings. He's watching it, so actually hasn't watched it yet. He said he doesn't have the guts to watch it, so he just watches our recent transcripts of it. And he's being coached up by Hauschka, is giving him feedback about how his meetings are going. And I think that's important. A lot of coaches aren't going to come out and put themselves out there like that and make it be known that they're still working on themselves. I think most coaches are always working on themselves, unless you've been in the game like 20, 25 years. That means you got this thing all figured out when it comes to your process. You never have the game figured out completely because things are always changing. But no, I thought that was big. I think that was like that new school coaching, just putting yourself out there and saying, look, I'm still working on myself too. So that allows your players to feel comfortable working on themselves.
Well, and we've had multiple players in interviews with us. Tyrese Knight mentioned it. Marquez mentioned it. Multiple guys be like, when you see him really trying Derek Hall, then it kind of makes you feel like, oh, he's putting in the work too. It's the same way. I mean, like Pete Carroll, always here, running around with the guys at practice. Like, it can feel, I think, and look hypocritical for a coach to constantly demand improvement while not working on his own improvement.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Here, Gino Suarez's Seattle homecoming tonight as the Mariners start a huge 4-game series against the Rangers. Pre-game at 5:30 p.m., first pitch at 6:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports. Speaking of Gino Suarez, the Mariners players found out about the trade yesterday in the clubhouse after the game. Why not go to the clubhouse and hear what it was like? Seattle Times' Tim Booth was there. He joins us next.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey friends, Stacy here to tell you that Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles, plus huge discounts in the service and parts departments. What about those of you who want to sell a car? Also good news. Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing plan is the best deal out there. They purchase your car and pay you upfront. Then when they resell your old car, they share 50% of that profit with you. They've already paid back over $800,000 to customers. At Wayscar Ford, there are absolutely no games, no gimmicks, and no pressure. That's backed up by a full 5-day or 500-mile no questions asked return policy on absolutely every car they sell. Change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. If you're like me, you want a good price, a low-key, no-pressure experience, and, of course, a full 5-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Wayscar Ford in Auburn is the place to go. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
The greatest stories aren't found in books, or films, or folk songs. The stories that truly bring us together are found in ESPN Fantasy Football. Stories of late-round love and first-round heartbreak. Tales of Hail Marys and Monday Night Miracles. Chronicles of punishments. Oh, the punishments. Friends growing closer than ever through the power of humiliation. It's all here. And while the football might be fantasy, the stories, very real. Download the ESPN Fantasy app, sign up, and write the story of your season.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No, no place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15. Get your questions in, any question. 866-979-3776. Let's head to the Mariners clubhouse, at least last night when they got the news about Gino Suarez. Seattle Times reporter Tim Booth joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Tim, we've got a lot of questions about the needs that the Mariners addressed, the question marks that remain with this team. Looking ahead to the Rangers, but we're going to start with last night. I mean, a massive trade for the Seattle Mariners. And take us back to the scene. Players didn't find out until they got to the clubhouse?
Yeah, so the way it's set up in Sacramento, or West Sacramento, the clubhouses are out beyond the left field fences. They're not behind the dugouts as they are at every other major league ballpark. And so guys can't bring their phones or can't check, information on the iPads or anything like that until they come back to the clubhouse. So that was the way everybody found out last night. They kind of came back from, losing that game, got back to the clubhouse, and everybody was on their phones. Everybody was checking things. Everybody was looking at X and every other social media platform, and kind of getting the news that way that, Gino Suarez was coming back to Seattle.
Gino was quoted saying he doesn't want to get traded, but he did get traded, and it's with the Seattle Mariners. What do you think his feeling is behind it? Obviously, he's going to do whatever he's told to do. He's going to be traded, and he's going to embrace the situation. But what do you make of that whole situation and of him just publicly saying he doesn't want to get traded, but now coming back to where he's been already?
I think you hit it right there. Like, he's coming back to something he knows. He's coming back to something familiar. He's coming back to a clubhouse he has relationships with. He knows where to go when he arrives at the stadium. Like, he doesn't have to go through that whole process of learning who the clubbies are and learning who the PR staff is, and learning all these little things that come when you go from one team to another abruptly for most players. So my guess is he probably feels really comfortable about this kind of move. And if he was going to get traded, this is probably the move he would have picked to make, just because it is so familiar and he understands it so well. It's not like he's picking up and going to a place he's never been before. So I think we're hopefully going to hear from him in the next couple hours. But I think all things considered, he's probably going to feel. Well, he said he didn't want to get traded. I think he probably feels pretty at ease and pretty happy with the situation that he landed in, and the opportunity that he has here to come in and contribute to something special in the same way that he did in 2022.
There have been past midseason trade deadlines and off seasons where I think, from the outside, Tim, and you've been in those clubhouses, but from the outside, it seems like players have maybe been frustrated, felt at times like the front office didn't do enough. There were Cal's controversial comments, which then he walked back. Obviously, when Paul Sewald was traded, there were a lot of frustrated Mariners speaking off the record about, how tough that was. This trade deadline felt entirely different, and I don't want to take away from last year, which was also aggressive, but when you were in the clubhouse and when you were talking with players, did you sense from them an excitement, or what was the general vibe?
So you mentioned Cal there, and he's the perfect example of this. He was grinning last night. Like, he couldn't, as we were talking to him about Gino coming back and the idea behind it, like, he had this little smirk on his face, like, this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I was hoping for to have happen. And he even referenced back to conversations he had with the front office in spring training when they were still figuring out his contract extension. And I think what he was hinting at was he wanted assurances, if he was going to commit to this franchise long term, that they were going to do what they needed to if the opportunity arose at the deadline to go out and improve the roster and maybe make a push to do something in September and potentially in October. So I think Cal is a perfect example of how everybody feels is, yes, they went out and got Josh Naylor, and that was a great first step. The next step was going out and getting Geno and really committing to the opportunity that presents itself. Because in the past, when they've made moves, it's always kind of been with the idea of what can they do to get someone for now and then potentially have that person for later. Randy Arozarena is a great example of that. But to go out and get a couple of essentially rentals, for the last 2 months of the season, guys who are clear upgrades at those positions, it's quite the statement that the front office is making, and I think it was really well received, whether it was Cal's comments or the way J.P. Crawford felt about it after the game. Like, I think everybody in that clubhouse understands that the front office went out and kind of did their part this time around, and now it's on them to put the pieces together and make a push here in August and September.
How does these moves change kind of the legacy or the way that Jerry Dipoto is viewed just in the baseball world with the fans and with the players?
That's a good question, Bump. I think how it's all viewed is going to be depending on what this team is doing on September 29th. Are we talking about getting ready for a wild card series? Are we talking about getting ready for the American League Division Series? Are we talking about a team that, on July 31st looked on paper to be maybe one of the strongest in the American League and then somehow failed to get to the postseason? I think if anything, it shows that the front office is still willing and able and capable to go out and make the deals that need to be made at the deadline to improve the team. Now, that doesn't say anything about what free agency has been like, because we all know that the limitations and the struggles that they've had convincing free agents to potentially come here and make those deals happen. But when it comes to the deadline and this year specifically, and maybe even if you lump in last year with getting Randy, they've done their part in making some moves during that time to where you have to look at it and go, okay, the front office did what needed to be done to help the roster. Now, we have 90 minutes left to the deadline. I think there's the opportunity there to maybe go do one more move, whether it's a bullpen or just a utility guy. But and if that happens, then we're really looking at this maybe as a different, through a different lens about everything they did at the deadline this year. But for getting Geno and for getting Naylor in here, you have to give him his props for accomplishing that and improving this roster to the point where we're considering it as playoff caliber roster right now.
Geno absolutely improves this roster, and he's a fan favorite, so we've seen nothing but excitement from our listeners on the text line today. But, Tim, the number one question that we have seen is about Ben Williamson. I think he's just engendered himself to people being great at defense, and even though you want Suarez's bat, I think people kind of, they start to really like young players. So what's it mean for obviously significantly fewer opportunities, but what decision, if any, still has to be made there with him?
Well, we don't know what the corresponding move is yet. And I do wonder if, just from the standpoint of what they need to do with the roster moving forward, if it doesn't end up being Ben getting sent down to Tacoma, just because he doesn't have the same versatility as some other guys to play a different position on the infield. He's a third baseman. It'd be really difficult for him to suddenly jump in at second or go across the diamond and play at first. He clearly could do it in a pinch, but that's not the kind of roster flexibility that you're looking for. So I don't think this means anything about Ben's future. I do think he is their third baseman of the future, and I do think he's still a young kid. The glove is exceptional. The defense is among the best in the American League, if not the best, among the best in baseball. The bat has time to come around. And moving forward into the future, if you can supplement power at other positions on the field that aren't typically power positions, you can get away with having a third baseman who has an OPS around, 600. You'd obviously like it to be 650 or 700, but you can kind of get away with not having as much power from that position. But where they are right now and moving forward into what they hope is a playoff push, you got to get a little bit more contribution offensively there. So I don't doubt that Ben Williamson, from the standpoint of right now, is the third baseman of the future. But for right now, it's Gino Suarez's spot, for the next 2 months until we get into late September and maybe October.
Do you expect another move to be made?
I think they'd like to. I think they could really use one more leverage arm in the bullpen. That's the spot that stands out to me. Like in a perfect world, maybe you go get Steven Kwan and make kind of a splash like that and play him in right field until Victor Robles is healthy, and then you bring Victor back, and all of a sudden you have this really, really deep roster. Or maybe you make a last-second play for Willie Castro if he hasn't been dealt yet, just because he's a kind of a super utility guy who can play a bunch of different spots. But to me, if they're going to make a move in the last 90 minutes, it would be to go get one more right-handed pitcher that can be a seventh, eighth inning guy and help out kind of the law firm of Munoz, Brash, and Spire that have carried everything really up to this point. Like Carlos Vargas has been really good at times. Eduard Vizardo has been really good at times, but to count on them in high leverage situations in late September and potentially October kind of is asking a lot. And so to keep that trio of Spire, Munoz, and Brash as fresh as possible going down the stretch, I think they could use one more option down in the bullpen just to help out a little bit, and preferably someone who's a veteran and maybe has some playoff experience and can bring some of that to that group.
I wanted to talk about the starters for just a little bit. Obviously, counting on their improvement and stability is a massive part of this recipe. They're only waiting for Miller. Otherwise, everyone's healthy, but it just hasn't felt the same. To what do you attribute that? Do you look at injuries and delayed starts, or are you seeing some other things?
I think the injuries have been kind of the big thing. Like, you lose Logan Gilbert for, roughly 6 weeks. You don't have George Kirby basically for the first, month and a half, 2 months of the season. You've had the ups and downs of whether Bryce Miller is healthy enough to actually be in the rotation. Like that's going to take a toll on just the collective as a whole. So I think that's probably more to do with everyone kind of being not as sharp as they were in the past. Like last year was such an outlier. You don't go through a season with 5 guys making all the starts. It just never happens. And then somehow last year it did with this group. I think that's if you're looking for the positives in what's still to come for the rotation, is that you haven't seen all 5 guys kind of clicking at once yet. Realistically, it's 4 guys. It's Castillo, Gilbert, Wu, and Kirby. Like Logan Evans is a rookie. He's given you serviceable innings. He's still really struggling to manage the game at times, as we saw the other night in Sacramento against the A's, where he just let some stuff get away from him, and all of a sudden a 3-run homer happens, and the game kind of gets away from you. So, but it's those 4 guys. It's your 4 main horses. If all 4 of those guys can kind of find it all at the same time here coming down the stretch, then you've got something really cooking there with the rotation. And Luis Castillo's been pretty good. Logan Gilbert's been, pretty good. George Kirby's been kind of pretty good lately. Like you've had some decent moments from each of them along the way. And, Brian Wu's been the consistent guy until, kind of struggling giving up the home run ball last night in Sacramento. So if all 4 of those guys can get going, and then maybe you can cycle Bryce back in, or you give Logan Evans a spot start, or whatever it may be, that's ultimately what they need, is just to get all those guys kind of rolling at the same time to the level that we've seen them do it in the past.
Where does how would you handle Victor Robles in this whole situation once he comes back?
Man, he looked really good yesterday swinging the bat. He looked ahead of schedule. Now the big thing, and he even cautioned this when we were talking to him, was he hasn't slid, he hasn't dived yet, and those are going to be kind of the 2 telling things. Is how does his shoulder handle that level of sort of physical exertion and contact with the ground that you have to be able to do to play the game and play it the way that he does. So I still don't think we're going to see him until September at the earliest, but he's just another guy that you can kind of, if he's able to make it back, he's another guy you can sprinkle in. You can maybe even go to start with a platoon out there in right field where you've got Dom Canzone against righties and Victor against lefties. He's also someone that can play center. And right now they don't have that. They don't have the ability right now really to give Julio a day off, because the guy who's been able to do that in the past has been Luke Raley, and he just went on the IL with the back issue. So they don't have that guy to give Julio a break right now. And so if they need to be able to do that sometime between now and when Victor's probably back in September. But when he does come back, that's another option too, is you can play him in center, give Julio the day off, or give Julio a DH day, and maybe give him a few breaks over the last couple of weeks of the season, especially if they're in a tight race, or maybe they're able to establish themselves as a playoff team by that point. You can kind of juggle the lineup a little bit to try and make guys as fresh as possible for the postseason if you're able to do that.
Might be the single biggest trade of the deadline, and so cool to get a first-hand account of that clubhouse afterward. He is Seattle Times' Tim Booth. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Yep, thanks, guys, for having me on.
The Seahawks are closing in on the preseason, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on Friday, August 15th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Time for What I Need to Know. Get your questions in, 866-979-3776. Honestly, what happens with Ben Williamson was like the #1 question, so I'm going to go ahead and say Tim answer that for us. and we'll get to the other questions for What I Need to Know. What's something that instantly gets under your skin and ruins your mood? I have so many answers for this.
People who take advantage of the little authority that they have. Like the guy at the parking lot today. I'm literally...
Power trip.
I parked my car. I'm walking. If you guys are familiar with the blue light over here in Seattle, I parked my car or in VMAC, and I'm walking like kind of in the road. It's not even street, it's like the road. And the guy's like, hey, I need you over here, walking over here. I look around, I go, I'm just walking to the spot where the shuttle picks me up.
Yeah,
I can't be responsible for you getting hit. I go, relax, dude. I'm an adult. If there's a car, I'm going to move out the way.
Yeah.
Well, why not? And I go, dude, just relax. And just to spite him, I just kept walking the same path.
I don't know that this gets under my skin, but it will ruin my mood quickly. But spilling things on myself, and then you have the whole day just walking around with it. And I also do this really woe is me thing sometimes where I'm not a dramatic person, but like I'll spill something on myself, and in my mind I'll be like, of course this would happen to me. And like nothing else has happened. Nothing happened to you that day. You just spilled some coffee on yourself. But I definitely will be like, of course. As if everything couldn't get worse. It's one bad thing. But yeah, that'll ruin my day. 866-979-3776. Is regifting ever okay? What are your thoughts on it?
It's all right. It's got to be outside that circle, though. It has to be nowhere near the circle.
You cannot regift a gift to someone who maybe it's at a party that another person who gifted that to you is going to be in attendance.
Yeah, no, it's got to be out the circle. And it's got to be something like maybe you already have, or you don't really need. It just can't be just to be cheap. Like you got to already have something or don't really need it.
I would say this is an example of not appropriate regifting. Your best friend or your mom or a sibling or someone has thought out and put so much love and care into a gift for you, and they are, just so excited for you to have it. That's when, even if you're never going to use it, you thank you so much. Like they really thought it out. Appropriate regifting, you're in sales and a client gives you a bottle of wine, and then you give the bottle of wine to a friend for a housewarming gift. I find that completely appropriate regifting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wine for sure.
Yeah. What I need to know. If you were to open your own restaurant, what type of food would you serve, and what would you name it?
I would serve barbecue because it's so hard to find good barbecue in the Northwest. There are some people who have tried. Moonshine barbecue is excellent. I like my guy Tom, but barbecues, I love me some barbecue. It'd be called
Barbie Bump. Bumpy Q.
Bumpy Q. Barbecue Bump.
Michael's. There's already a Michael's. They sell home goods.
Barbecue Bump.
Barbecue Bump? It sounds like we're killing you.
Bump's Barbecue. Simple.
Matt,
right
Curtis,
to the point.
do you guys have restaurants?
I think Matt's would be like Thai food. He's always eating Thai food.
Yeah, he seems like a Thai food.
I do really like Thai food.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could make Thai food. I only like eating it. I couldn't.
Yeah. Coming up with the name is the harder part of this. I'm going to keep it moving. Someone said, this is mostly for Curtis, but call tonight's game. They said homers, strikeouts, dubs.
It feels like they want me to put together a parlay for them.
Oh, I think that's what they're asking.
That's what this sounds like, 206.
You can make your guess for, you already said Gino.
The Mariners win. Gino hits a home run. Strikeouts. Jeez, that's call the gambling hotline if you're betting on total strikeouts.
You've got a problem. Someone said, is there really that much love and thought put into a gift if you won't use it? I think that I've probably been gifted things that like someone really looked for and thought about that just you didn't end up using, but they really did it with the best intention. Yeah. And I've gifted, like there are so many things I bought my stepdad with tags on sitting in his closet. And I really was trying to nail it. I was like, he's definitely going to use this.
I am the worst gift giver. I am bad at it. So bad. I need assistance.
Someone said the bump pit.
The bump pit.
But then we're talking about bumpits. You guys know what those are?
No.
They were like a thing in like 2002, 3. And it was, remember when girls would have their hair with like a bump? They would, they would do like a ponytail or the hair half up. Why did we ever do that?
I kind of like that look.
Who's we? You're talking to 3 people.
Why
that
did
never
I?
did.
I was definitely, I didn't do like big ones, but I definitely remember keeping a portion of my hair and then you put it in a ponytail and then you put the top part back and bump it up. Like, what a dumb style. What's the what's the dumbest thing you guys ever did where you were like, I hope no one finds a picture of me with this?
A do-rag with a headband.
You look like Nelly.
Like straight Nelly, influenced by Nelly.
Curtis.
I did that thing where, specifically white guys, we would comb our hair forward and then flip the bangs up.
There you go.
Definitely did that. Probably like
just get a
6th,
slope.
7th grade. Yeah.
I would love to see Curtis rocking that.
I think you should bring back frosted tips.
I never did that.
Lean into it. Let's see. What I need to know. Bump, who has the best hands at, they said wide receiver / tight end that you've ever seen. So you could do 2.
Me?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh.
Me. If we're not talking about me, you know what? I'd probably say Brandon Gibson. Played with me at Wazoo. If you YouTube Brandon Gibson, he has one of the greatest catches in NFL history. I believe it was with the Miami Dolphins at the time. On the sideline, one hand, left hand, stupid. Probably Brandon Gibson.
What about of like maybe slightly more recent Seahawks? Like let's say last 5, 6, 7 years. So fresh in our memories of where you were like, this guy genuinely, like maybe the best hands on the team.
Probably Doug, man. Doug makes some tough ones.
Tyler
was a body catcher.
Okay, I changed my answer to Doug. Who had the worst hands?
DK's hands weren't great. They were not great.
Name a time you got away with something but knew you were totally busted.
So did I get away with it or not?
I'm going to say get away with it because that's kind of the opposite. So name a time you actually got
Sounds
away
like
with
we
something.
got a cop listening is what.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Never done
Name a
anything
time you got
bad.
away with something and then tell me exactly what you did. This is not a cop.
I stole like some candy from the store one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never stolen anything.
No.
No, that's a lie. This is the time I got away with something. My food card ran out at UW. Every quarter, you'd get a week or two shy where you'd be like, I don't have any more money on this food card, but I'm hungry and I don't have money. And you just kind of
casually walk out.
You just casually, if you walk out confidently, then no one ever stops you. And this is not, I take back what I said, no one should steal ever. But that's probably a time when I got away with it. Yeah.
Hey, you were a starving college student.
I was a child.
It's okay.
You know?
Make mistakes.
All right. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
With another monster move on the eve of baseball's trade deadline.
The pitch to Gino. Swung on. A rocket to left field. Walk it off, Gino!
Gino Suarez, the Mariner. It's crystal clear. The Mariners are all in. Don't miss Gino's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
The Davis Law Group Charity Golf Tournament heads to the Prospector Course in Suncadia on August 20th. Proceeds benefit Life Support I-90, funding life-saving training and equipment for the first responders on call every day, covering the thousands of travelers heading over the I-90 corridor east of Snoqualmie Pass through Cle Elum and the surrounding areas. Tee times and sponsor packages are limited, so sign up today at dlggolf.com. That's dlggolf.com, because the life you save could be your own.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at winning 4 tickets to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Kansas City Chiefs on August 15th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 30th through August 4th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.